looking for ways to bring you down.
They are.
It's the real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground. Real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining me from. Thank y'all for joining the live stream today. You know, on Tuesdays we have the panel. I have some distinguished guests today. Of course, I have OG Fred in the house. Dana M. He wrote me a scathing email. He's mad at me. I wasn't able to get to his comments last time, but I brought him on, guys, because he's got some information on some travel information. Then I got a new guy, Razer from Brooklyn, New York. He's a travel vlogger from down in South America. But of course, let me thank the NTZ crew. I know Jacob Tanjay's on here. I don't know if Michael Beach Your Life's on here yet. Of course, we don't really have a topic. We just talk about everything Philippines and life in general. What you got for us today, Dana?
Well, you know, we have a lot of chaos in the airlines right now, domestically. And surprisingly, it hasn't had a lot of effect on international travel. As a matter of fact, over the last 10 days, the international carriers are adding more flights. So with that, the prices have gone down. So since the 4th of July, we're seeing prices drop down. In some cases, I've seen drops as much as $600.
Wow.
Matter of fact, from Dallas to Cebu right now is like $1,097.
Goodness gracious. I had a guy, he just left my guest house today. That's why I'm on late. I helped him move into his new place. He paid $2,500 for a round trip from Orlando, Florida. Dana?
Yeah, well, a large part of that, I'm sure, was not because he wasn't trying to get the best possible price. It was the timing of when he booked.
Yeah, he said, I said, man, well, hell, he must have bought his ticket the same day, Fred.
Must have.
Yeah, he had that hot pants syndrome. He tried to get over it quick.
Well, I will tell you this, Calvin. I think if anybody's planning to come over the rest of the year, they probably need to buy their tickets before Labor Day.
Okay, what do you use? That's yours, honey. It's not mine. Yeah, I want to. Golden Gate says, "Hey, Calvin, those motivational shorts on point. Keep them going." I'm going to do one of them every day. I'm going to call it the daily motivation.
Oh yeah.
But we're not going to get into it yet. But I want you to talk about your long distance conversation, Dana. But not yet, because I won't raise. I want to welcome him to the channel and let him kind of introduce himself and give us a little background, Razer.
Hello, guys on the panel, OG and Dana, and everyone inside the chat. My name is Razer, and I have a channel, YouTube channel, and I pretty much talk about on my channel travel, escaping out of the matrix, aka USA. That's our motto on our side of YouTube, and basically I talk about safety travels to the Caribbean, to South America, mainly Colombia, Cartagena, Medellin, and I give a lot of, I think, decent information about safety. Now, some people, a lot of people don't appreciate it because they think that I'm, scaring people from traveling to South America. But I give the good and the bad of the dating in South America, Colombia, and the bad, with the motor robberies or in the scopolamine druggings and stuff like that. So I try to have a good time and just have fun on my channel. But I am looking towards the Philippines after coming across Sunshine Shoulders channel. So I'm really, really excited. I'm very excited about the Philippines and what the Philippines have to offer.
Okay, good. I'm glad you could join us. He had me on his channel the other day. He's got a good channel, guys. There's Booby again. Say, hey, Booby. Hi. Say hi. She wants to act shy. Oh, there she go.
Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah. What's going on in Guam, Fred?
Man, it's been raining a lot. The weather's been kind of bad, but it's that time of year, where we get more rain than anything else. Other than that, the governor is thinking about installing the mask mandate again for those dining indoors because the number of cases is starting to rise again.
So y'all got some special masks with holes in them to eat the food?
No. I mean, you're still allowed to dine, but what they were doing before, you had to show that you had your shots, showed your vaccination card in order to get into a restaurant. So I'm not sure, and this is also the election year, where they're going to elect a new governor and all that. So it's going to be kind of interesting. Guam has interesting politics.
Yeah, well, the guys that come over here from America, they're really frustrated because, the mask mandate has always been enforced here, and I don't see it ever going out anytime soon. And I tell you, it gets hot. Man, it feels like you suffocating over here with that damn mask on, but we don't have a choice. To be honest with you, hey, Robert Dame, I asked him to come on. You got to enter the studio. He said I'm linked in, bro, but yeah, you got to come on in the studio. He calls himself Hairy Shoulders because he got a lot of hair all over his stuff.
Oh.
We'd like to see what that's all about. Yeah.
So Razer, let me ask you a question. How did you come across Calvin's YouTube channel? Did you see somebody else mention it?
No, during the whole, I call it the Bingo snap around the world. When everybody was being locked in.
Yes.
Because of the situation, I don't know if you want. I started getting feeds. Because I heard different channels about just traveling to South America. But for some reason, Sunshine Shoulders channel just entered my feed for some reason. And I said, hey,
okay.
I just clicked on it and I just became addicted to it. It gave me a sense of calm. Like I told him the other day, it gave me a sense of calm. And I just started binge watching his videos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like I tell guys all the time, YouTube is going to determine who you see. And it's all about the algorithm. They're going to look at the channels you're already watching. And then they're going to throw some suggestions out there to you. And you're only going to see those suggestions once the channel gets to a certain level. See? Because there's so many thousands of vloggers over in the Philippines you never see because they've got 55 subscribers, 63 views. So YouTube's not even going to help them. They're going to say, hey, look, we're going to wait until you get a following first, and then we'll push you out there. And YouTube is brutal right now, Fred. And that goes. So anybody out there that's already started your channel and you're frustrated because ain't nobody's watching, keep on talking, keep on making videos because eventually YouTube will pick you up. Somebody's going to see you and you'll get off the ground. Just like, okay, the True channel, by them coming on my channel, they bypassed all of that. I was able to just push them out there myself. See? But a lot of YouTubers, they're not going to help other YouTubers. For some reason, they think it's a competition. It's really not. YouTube determines who sees you, when they see you, and how much they see you. I ain't got nothing to do with it. So we need to really try to help each other. But that's how that works, Fred. Okay, I've got Robert Dame on here, also known as
Hey, Robert.
Harry Shoulder.
Hey, Fred.
Hey, Rob.
Harry.
Some background information.
Harry shoulders because it's all fell down on my shoulders, man. It's all good. It's all good.
You know, Robert, one thing that got me interested in your story, he's an ex-prize fighter. And
Wow.
also he's a ex-bodyguard. He's worked for a lot of the studios out there in California. Kind of tell us a little bit about that, Robert.
Well, listen, I want to say thank you to the panel and especially thank you to Calvin. And let's see if we can do that 360 today, Calvin. You know, life is hard. It's tough. You know, you're getting older, you know, you start to have these Alzheimer's episodes where you walk into a room and you forget what you came in for, right? Okay, so I talked to my doctor. My doctor said, Robert, your blood pressure's getting up. You should really run 5 miles a day for the next 2 weeks. I said, okay. Doctor, what am I supposed to do now? I'm 70 miles away.
Yeah.
No, but really, yeah, working for the Stars, that was a big deal. Over in Century City East, we had $1 million security system over there. I like to put the camera down by the swimming pool and watch the hotties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you.
No, we had everyone. We had everyone from Andy Griffith, Jerry Sullivan, Ed Sullivan's son was roommating with Andy Griffith, Bill Bixby, Julie Andrews, you know, the lady that owns Hertz Rental Car, brain surgeons. We had everybody in there. And then, of course, at the studio, working with all the big names there, I got to learn a lot, really, to be honest with you. And I had working on the set, you find out, you get a little jaded, you know, when you see the real limelight.
Yeah. So what about Gary Coleman? Did you ever get to meet him? You know, he was a big star at one time.
No, I didn't meet him. Of course, I followed his career, but no, I didn't get a chance to meet him. I'm sorry. I was working back in the day when they had like China Beach and the Gremlins and Ghostbusters and Paradise Island.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, hell, you met some pretty interesting people. Hey, a photo, Dave Jacks. He says he's a new subscriber. Hey, welcome to the channel, man. He said, great, no BS message. Well, I'm gonna tell you, man, we just gonna call it like we see it over here, right, Fred?
That's right.
Because eventually you're gonna come over to the Philippines and you're gonna say, that damn Calvin, all these guys that says, man, everything you said has been true, you know. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. You may see something else, Fred, but you're not gonna say I was bullshitting you. And that's a fact. But Dana gave me some bad news the other day. Said his long distance conversation shut down on him. What happened, Dana? You want to talk about that? Maybe you can help somebody on here.
Well, I don't necessarily think that it's bad news. I think it's a matter of a situation that a lot of us don't think about, and that is, you know, Calvin, how you're always talking about Filipinos are not from outer space. And this is, to me, a typical example of what you're saying. And basically what happened was I'm still planning to come in August, but my initial timetable was going to be August the 2nd. I was going to be leaving.
Yeah.
Then I had an unexpected situation come up where I had a car. Basically the transmission in my car went out. Okay. And because it's a real rare car, we had to search the United States to try to find the parts for it.
Oh, wow. What kind of car you got?
It's a 92 Subaru SVX.
Yeah, that's
What do
pretty
you
damn.
say?
I never heard of it. That's pretty rare.
Wait,
Yeah.
I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear that. Was that a 1970 Model T Ford you were saying?
No, Fred. So anyway, I let her know that, I had to get a new transmission. And so consequently, it was setting me back about $6,800. So,
Wow.
so I let her know that instead on the 2nd, I would have to come a little bit later. And at that time, I wasn't sure how much later. So she went to a wedding, came back from the wedding. I talked to her that night. And that's when I told her that I would have to put my trip back, postpone it for a while. And she's like, oh, okay. And then
rough,
the next day, I got a text from her, and she was like, oh, you're a nice person. You've been inspirational and helped my family out, not financially, but encouraging them. And she's like, but I don't think you can what did she say, afford or support my need.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And so I just kind of laughed to myself because I had already bought the ticket. And instead of coming on August the 2nd, I'm coming on August the 24th. So basically, when I told her about having to get the car repaired, she probably felt like, I'm pretty sure she did, that there was no more money in my wallet left for her. So that's the way it goes. But the
Hey,
way I
Dana.
look
Dana, did you guys ever meet before?
no,
Okay.
it was a long distance conversation.
Okay.
So, the way I look at it is, it's the kind of like the wheat separating from the chaff. It's better to know this because I could have gone over there and spent time with her, see her needs, and probably, like most of us guys from the West, say, look, let me take care of this little problem. Let me help you with this little problem or whatever. And so the way I look at it, because I was coming to the Philippines before I met her, as Calvin, I'm coming over to scout to see where I'm going to land. Is it going to be Cebu,
Yeah.
Ilo, Davao? So I'm still not quite sure. I've got all my research done, and those are the places that I've narrowed it down to. So I was never really coming over for a woman. It would have been nice to have a companion, no doubt. But it's okay. I'm not hurt or anything like that. But it just made me realize, as you said, Filipinos are human too. And
Let me stop you right there and say this.
yeah,
It's probably a case of first come, first serve. Somebody probably just got there before you.
could be.
That's what it sounds like to me. And that's okay. Like I told you in the email, it's better that you learned about that now than later on.
Yeah.
And you done spent some money and everything because, you're right. We'll get over here. We'll start spending money. I had to give a guy a lesson today. I said, look, when that woman comes to see you today and she helps clean up your house and, cook dinner for you and whatever else she's going to do, whether she gives you the tune up or not, you don't give her any more than 1,000 pesos and, and say, hey, let her earn that. As you get to know each other more and you can trust her more, then maybe the money goes up a little bit more, maybe the help goes up a little bit more. But what we do is we shoot them ladies from 0 to 100 so fast they head spins. So yeah.
Well, Calvin, it's it's not their heads that spin, it's our heads that spin.
Now it's their heads are spinning too because she said you can't meet her needs. Well, let me in on something. Where that lady lives, she probably don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Okay, and for her to tell you that was a slap in your face. But at the same time, it's like, thank you. Okay, because 6 months from now, Dana, you're gonna be happy that you never met her because you're gonna meet somebody else a whole lot better. But let me get this super chat right here real quick. Thanks, David S. He says, hello, gentlemen. Hope you're doing well. What is your opinion about the agreement between the BRICS nation, Russia, Iran, China, to create a parallel reserve that will compete against the dollar? I don't know anything about that. Does anybody on here know anything about that?
Nope.
Nobody's going to want. The ruble's getting a little bit stronger now. It was down for a while. The ruble's down for a while, but it's getting stronger now. But no, you can't replace the dollar as the world reserve currency. We already have that agreement with Saudi Arabia. You need to purchase oil in dollars, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, that's a great point, Robert. And you're right. See, we've already, that would take so long for people to even get used to dealing with anything other than the dollar. And I believe that would be.
You see what happened to Gaddafi when he tried that, right?
Yeah. Saddam Hussein too, I guess.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But anyway, Luis Martinez says a blessing in disguise, Dana. And that's all I'm saying, Dana. That's a blessing, man, that she did that before you even got over here.
Well,
Okay.
Guys, I'm not blue. Okay, I'm not feeling bad. I understand, if it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, it probably is a duck. So,
well, it had to have shocked your ego a little bit, though.
No,
like who
not really. I'm probably one of the most even-tempered people you will ever meet, and I know the situation. This I'm having conversation, long-distance conversation. You've heard me say that before for 10 months, and it's like you never know what you got until you're face to face. So she could have rejected me when I got there. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, just join the group. Just join the game because hell, most of us America's kicked us. We're in the bottom of the scrap heap over there. So we come over here where our, chances are a lot better, man. I don't know why guys jump on us for that. Do y'all get that same thing in South America? Razer, is your profile a little bit higher in South America than it is in America?
Well, I know that I am wanted more in South America now.
Yeah.
I think it's more for the wallet than what I see. My observation, watching your channel and a few other Philippine channels, is that it seems more about for my wallet, and it seems more about give me now, more than. But it's different. It's different than Asia, I believe. For the way I describe Asia, it's different. It's more like in South America, it's more like give me now. It's about the beauty, the woman. Give me now. So it's not like a slow process that filled in, like you said before, GFE, experience. It's not like that over there, for the most part. Now you can have that, but I would say that I think it doesn't seem as real. It doesn't seem as real. It always seem like maybe this girl is trying to, she wants something out of me, but kind of too fast. You know what I mean? Sometimes I think from the way y'all describe the Filipinos, it seems different. But
over here,
we all want it.
Over here, there's an unspoken agreement. Over here. You take care of me.
I think it's better that way.
And I'm going to take care of you. Yeah, you already know up front what's going on, but people push back on that. They think that the woman wants them all because you're nice looking and this and that. No, initially, it's about the financial circumstances, the new life, the opportunity, the new, lifetime opportunities, the visa, but you can turn it into something else. if you're a decent human being, if you stay around her enough, eventually she'll fall in love with you. But when you first meet her online or somewhere else, she can already see what what you offer. This guy over here that just came over here, a friend of mine that I met at the grocery store, the girl that he's dealing with now, she introduced him, right? Now, he's 71, she's 34, but she's got 3 kids. So obviously, she sees the opportunity that he's bringing to her and her kids, okay? Because under normal circumstances, a 34-year-old woman is not going to be interested in a 71-year-old man. Now, she can say what she wants to. Oh, he's nice looking, because she gave him the Filipino makeover yesterday, Fred. Oh, you don't look 71. Yes, you do. Because he said, oh, look at this big belly of man. She said, oh, it's not that big. And I told him, don't fall for that.
But Calvin, you figure somebody been 71 years old, you think you would know better by that time. But it seems as soon as guys get over there, they lose their ever-loving mind. We always talk about the 2 channel. You got a couple of ladies wearing a bathing suit. And them guys went crazy, right?
Oh, man.
You
know what I do? Every time I do a live stream on StreamYard, I delete it. Because, I've got a plan. I pay for this plan. And I get 50 hours of recording every month. So I delete my videos after I'm finished. But the 2 that I did with the True Channel, I kept as evidence. So when guys come on here and say, yeah, I didn't do that and I didn't do this. Yes, you did.
Hey, Calvin. Speaking of the True Channel, what's with this slow motion of you running up and down the beach?
Just something.
We want to know what got you to do a slow motion of you running up and down.
We were in alcohol, right? And actually, what you're seeing, I cut that. Marlon's running toward me, and then we were just messing around. That's all.
Oh man, I'll tell you, my eyes started to water. I was laughing so hard. I said, "Oh."
I thought I was watching Top Gun in the Philippines. There, the NBC.
They Austin. Hey, but let me ask you something, Robert. Are you chatting with anyone right now?
Well, Calvin, to be honest with you, yes, there's a few, but like you said, Calvin, unless you can touch it, taste it, or smell it, it's just a conversation, right?
Yeah.
What people need to do when they come on and they listen here, I want to tell everyone watching, listen to Calvin, listen to him, man. Save yourself some heartache, save yourself some pressure. You don't need to go through all those struggles and stresses that you put yourself through. It's just a conversation until you get over there, man. You don't know if you're compatible or not.
Yeah, we get excited. But I tell people all the time, I'm not an expert. I just tell you what I've been through. All of my videos are just based on my life experiences over here. Now, Moochie T's on here now. He acted an ever-loving fool. He had these girls, right? Now, he's a tough guy, though. He gets on my channel. He talks about, oh, don't do this with the women. Don't do that with the women. And he just signed up with the damn
Moochie T, salute.
Life to the women. Yeah, I was shocked at that, Moochie T. You shocked me.
And really, Calvin, when you get there, it's nothing like you expected. It doesn't look the same. Some girls are not photogenic, and you get there and they're just, oh, wow, just beautiful. And other girls take these ugly TikTok videos, and you get there and it's like worse than, yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of times, though, believe it or not, they look a lot better. Most of the time, they're going to look better when you get her in person. And that's why I say, these tough guys, friend, they always say what they're not going to do when they're 60,000 miles away. Then when the lady's standing right in front of them, it's a different story. They're paying for everything.
Well, when I was married,
You got a bikini?
Who is that?
Somebody asked if you had.
I heard some arguing. In the background.
Oh,
Is that Big Shirley? Who's got?
That's me. That's me in Brooklyn. That's me in Brooklyn. You know.
Oh, okay.
Let me mute a little bit.
Yeah, Moochie T got an F. He fell. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he flunked bad. Is it anything worse than an F?
F minus.
Yeah, he got F minus.
When I was married, I was lucky. If I could get it like once a month, I was lucky. And the other two guys, she cut off completely.
Now you told me about a story of yours, right? And didn't you just come out of the divorce, and before the ink was dry on the divorce, you got married again, Robert?
Yes, sir. I was in Pocatello, Idaho, and I was waiting for a divorce to come through in Yellowstone, Montana. And as soon as that divorce was recorded at the recorder's office, I was married within an hour in Pocatello to another young lady that was just, she was all that I needed. And at the time, and that was just what I needed. So I was really happy about that. Yes. The same day I was divorced, I was already married. Same day. Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Now I'm going to put you, I might have to put him in my Hall of Fame for that, Fred. What do you think?
You might need to introduce him to James.
Yeah.
Well, to tell you the truth, to be honest with you, the full story is that I've been married 6 times to 4 different women. Now, the only other person that I know that has that record beat is maybe Richard Pryor, 7 times to 6 different women.
You've been married 6 times to 5 different women. So what is it about marriage that you like, Robert?
Oh, God, who wants to chase after it and spend all that money at the bar, right? When you can come home, it's just out of convenience, man. You want that convenience. You want that certainty to come home, and there she is.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, here's Tariq Campbell. He says, I've had 2 married.
Also, to be honest with you, Calvin, to be honest with you, you want to give a good example to your friends and family. You don't want to be, you want, especially I was having kids coming and visit me, my own kids, and I didn't want to be living with that lady or any of them, just to be married. And then I get just a little less hassle from the family,
So what's the longest marriage that you had?
About 7 years. Two of the marriages were 7 years. One, the second time that I married a lady from Mexico, and she was a wonderful girl. All these girls were really great women. Really, they're all beautiful, all good people, and a lot of them we're still friends today. But I go over there, and it's like, let's go. We're ready to go. Went through the trouble and hassle of getting married, and I was in one day, and I can't. I can't leave my parents. We're so close. I need to stay. And I said, come on, the van's packed. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, you didn't make it past the 7-year itch, Robert. Damn.
One day.
Oh, you was married for one day. Damn.
So have you been to the Philippines yet? Robert, you been to the Philippines yet?
Yes, sir. Fred, yes, I have been. I was in there. I went over with a friend. He invited me to come over in 1999. He married a girl in Pampanga, and I spent 2 weeks in Manila. I stayed at the Tropicana. I just went shopping at Robinson's Mall. He was pretty busy with his family over there. And so I was left alone I didn't date anyone. I didn't see anyone over there. I just went shopping. In fact, I saved the money on the ticket. I bought a nice Rolex at the Robinson's Mall. It was like a $2,000 watch for like $1,300, and that paid for the $700 ticket. That was a good trip for me.
Yeah, that was my question. That was my next question. Did you get married over here? I thought maybe.
No. I was married in Mexico.
Yeah, let's take this one for Tariq. He says, I've had 2 married women already. Last week, a husband texted me while his wife was in bed with me. He said, be careful, fellas. It's crazy out here. Yeah, but they don't believe me. See, they think that they're special. They're
Is he in
unique.
the Philippines?
Yeah, he's in the Philippines. Yeah, he's in the Philippines.
Okay.
Well, sometimes we'd have sex at the house, and my wife would scream, especially when I opened the door and checked on her.
So what, are you married, Razer Rays? Are you single?
Well, I have never been married. Never, ever been married, as you can hear in the background. Of course, no way. I can't do it. I'm not that type of person. Yet, not yet. I just turned in my early 40s, right? So I cannot get married yet, right? It's not time.
Yeah.
Let me mute this. Go ahead. And let me mute this.
Okay, yeah, he must be living with Big Shirley.
Yeah, I hear Bebe's kids running around in the background.
That's funny.
Let's see Big Shirley, man.
If you get locked in, this is what you go through. You're gonna be. I don't know, guys. I can't see it. I'm just looking to go out and have some fun with the beauties, Philippines. But I don't know about the whole marriage thing. Now, let me ask you: Do the women, they really want marriage out there in the Philippines, or would they?
Absolutely.
If they don't, if y'all say no to a marriage, would
the
girl dump you?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they won't. They will marry you online if they could. That's a fact. That's a fact. But guys don't believe it. They don't understand. They want that commitment online, and that's the only thing about dating online. You gotta be careful, man.
Hey, man, I've already seen 3 or 4 guys on Philippine blogs that got married online. I don't understand it.
Wow, that is insane.
Yeah. They want to marry you online if they can.
I've the abstinence.
Huh?
Abstaining from sex. I haven't been on a date since 2015.
What? So what are you doing? So your hands getting ready to call now.
No, Calvin. They say your mind is the first thing to go. I think they were off by 3 feet.
Wow.
Oh man.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, Robert, if you want to meet anybody, contact James. He probably get you going the right way. Get you the right side.
There was this website, this dating website, and the guy comes in and they say, what would you like? Would you like a lady with straight hair or curly hair? And he says, well, yeah, I like the straight hair. And he says, well, go through the purple door over there. He goes through the purple door, and they said, well, what would you like, a morena, a darker lady, or light skin? He said, well, I'd sort of like the morena. And he said, go through that door over there, the green checker door over there. And he goes through the door, and he walks out, and he's back out on the street, and he says, what's going on here? He comes back. He said, yeah, but isn't the service great?
Hey, we got TJ on here now. He's the only 5-star. He's like a 5-star general over here in the Philippines. That's what I call him, Fred, because everything he does, he don't stay in the province. Anything that I suggest, he don't do. He goes straight for the 5-star places. What's up, TJ?
What's good? That's not necessarily true. There's nothing wrong with a 4-star hotel either. 4 stars are entirely acceptable on the pinch.
In a
So
pit.
Welcome, brother. Nice, good to see you, man.
Brandon Bonner said, so Robert Hairy Shoulders is Robert Hairy Palms. Is that right, Robert?
Well, you know that there was a man, and he went to his rabbi and he said, "I ain't gonna be. There'll be hair growing on my palms before I do something like that." And he went out and he was going by, and a bus came by and ripped the palm on his hands. He came back. They took some of the skin off of his thigh. He said, "Look, there's hair on my palms."
Dana, what's going on over there, man? You okay?
Yeah, I'm just taking it all in. Just taking it all in.
Well, here's James. Somebody asked about James. They said, how did James turn out? James turned out pretty good. So far, so good. We'll see at the chapter 2 when he gets over here in November.
Yes, sir. The tales of duct tape Basquiat.
Come on, guys.
Masking tape Basquiat.
Let's all pray for him, you know.
Big facts.
Let's all pray for him. I hope it works out for him.
But let me ask you something, Robert, because I just did a video on that yesterday about, because my buddy here, well, he's got his own place now. He hasn't had sex in 8 years. I don't know why he even told me that, Fred, but I wouldn't tell nobody that. But he told me.
Well,
Calvin.
You asked him that, Calvin. I know you. You asked him that.
Yeah.
Man. When's the last time you had sex, man?
No, I didn't ask him. Because Marilyn, she thought it was strange. She said, well, is he gay? I said, I don't know. I'm not.
Well, listen, you know, let me tell you a little story here. I was trained by Jenks Morton, Sugar Ray Leonard's manager. Sugar Ray was, he had a detached retina back in 1983. Okay, well, I took his place as a middleweight. Of course, I didn't make it to my pro debut. I was in a really bad automobile accident 2 weeks before my pro debut. But anyway, you know, just getting that training is something that you remember, because they say, hey, you know, stay away from the sex. Your legs are going to go, and, you know, quit pumping those weights, man. It's slowing you down.
Yeah. So is that what you're doing now, pumping a lot of weights and boxing?
Well, you know, they asked me, you know, to be honest with you, they're asking me, you know, what are you in training for? And I'll tell you what, I'd like to take on, you know, just that bare fist knuckle boxing. I'd like to whip the ass on that guy from England. He could come in drunk and I'll just put him to sleep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I used to fight a lot of bare knuckles in the street, Calvin. I only lost one fight bare knuckles in the street, and that was to a guy who became a Marine. And he just slapped the shit out of me, and he embarrassed me in front of a big crowd in the street. Slapped me, rang my bell a couple of times. I said, buddy, that ain't fair. This is Marcus of Queensberry. And he didn't care. He slapped me again, and that was the end of that fight.
Yeah. So, okay, now, in 13 years since I've been coming to the Philippines on and off, I probably haven't went one day without sex. So that's the longest I've been. Is anybody here on they call it a monk mode or something like that? You know, you young TJ and Razer, have y'all heard that terminology, monk mode?
No. You're gonna have to show me a link.
I've heard
that sounds made up.
Not experienced it, though.
No, but really, we've all heard that terminology, use it or lose it. And that's really, to protect your prostate, you really should have normal relations. You're going to live longer.
Absolutely. You're going to live longer. No, I have sex 2 to 3 times a day, Moochie T, if you really want to know. But he just came out of the clear blue sky and that's another reason why I made that live stream. I'm not a matchmaker. I'm not a hookup, because he thought I was going to hook him up. The minute he got off the plane, I was like, dude, I don't know nobody over here, believe it or not.
Okay, but I'm still trying to understand the line of questioning, and then which this came up. Like, was it out of the blue? Out of the blue? Was it something that he's like?
Calvin, that's because you're not allowed to.
No, he was like, we were just coming back over here. Okay, remember, he got off at the port, he comes, he just shows up, you know, because the people here know me. They see a black guy come to the port, they say, okay, he must be going to see Calvin or Sunshine Shoulder. They brought him here, right? And right in my door, right in my gate. And I come out there, and the minute he walks in there, he hugs me, said, man, I finally get to meet you. You know, I haven't had sex in over 80 years. And I'm like,
just right in.
That's all that's all about, man. You know,
right into it. No, how you doing? How you been? How's the family?
I guess
you know, I'm looking forward to coming over there, but I'm telling you, I'm not making any major decisions in the first year. I'm going to take your advice, Calvin. Get set up, get yourself a room, know the area. Where's the hospital? You know, get yourself a refrigerator, buy an air conditioner, get comfortable, because you got nothing to offer until you're settled in anyway.
Yeah, I guess he thought I had a woman waiting for him, TJ, in the guest house.
I mean, yo, I don't know. It's a rough life.
But I don't.
Are you old enough to Are you old enough to remember, Calvin, that song by Bobby Womack that nobody wants you when you're down and out?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you didn't. The Filipinos, time and time again, like you said, they're not going anywhere. Okay, so you don't need to be in a hurry to start a relationship. Okay, go to a new country, go to the Philippines, find yourself, get your base set up, and they'll be there.
Are you dating right now, Dana? Are you in monk mode?
Oh, right now? Yeah, I'm in monk mode, man. And capital
you're in a senior monk mode.
Well, so
wait,
you know, Calvin.
Rambling, man.
We were talking about the monk.
I had a dog. My friends, you know, we raised some dogs, and they said we want to mate him, you know. And I said, hell no, make him go through what I got to go through.
Yeah, and then he ran away.
Cool, your dad says I'm fighting this pork chop that my wife overcooked right now. I've been there and done that. What was you saying, Fred?
Well done,
No, what I was saying, you know, we're talking about monk mode. Think about it, guys. You don't have to be old to be in monk mode. You know, you get back there, you got to deal with the women back in the States.
Can I get a specific definition?
It may be wild.
I feel like I'm still lost somehow.
You know, well, what it is the guy who, a monk is a person that's sworn off from sex. Okay, just like, you know, if you're a Shaolin monk, you was a Catholic priest, whatever, you know, but that's one of the things that you can't have relationships with women. So that's what we mean when we say monk mode.
One of the things that you guys need to understand, me and Fred, we're both 72 years old, okay? And the thing about it is, Calvin, hopefully you'll get to live that long. And we've already crossed that ground that you get to cross. That's why we're so calm. I can be in monk mode because
Fred's not in monk mode. Fred got a beautiful.
I was about to say, I'm gonna take Fred with you. I'm gonna throw Fred under the bus.
You under the bus.
I'm talking about life experience. I'm talking about life experience.
Oh, okay.
No, we're talking about getting it on.
Okay,
we're talking about getting it on, man.
Yeah, but really, Calvin, at my age, Calvin, you know, when you get as old as I am, you want to have two girlfriends because if you fall asleep, at least they got someone to talk to.
Well, how old are you, Robert?
What's that, Calvin?
How old are you?
Well, you know, when I was a little boy, I'd hear my grandma, she said, I'm pretty near 70.
He said, how old are you?
Oh, he hit a barrel roll on that. Yo,
yeah, I'm pretty near 70. And now I'm like 2-3 years away listening to my grandmother. I'm like a couple of years away from 70.
So what are you, 68?
I'll be 67 in January.
Oh, okay, yeah, you know. Because, you know, my thing is, you know, sex is normal, guys. I don't know why we make such a big deal out of it. It's like, it's as natural as breathing, as far as I'm concerned.
Every one of these guys on this panel is a result of sex. So, I don't, you know, you guys, come up and face the
That's
facts.
a true story. Good point, brother. That's a great point, because that's why God made sex so wonderful and so interesting and exciting, so that we would have babies, right? Or we wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
Yeah. But there's two different types of monk modes. There's forced monk mode or voluntary. You don't want to be in the forced monk mode.
You want to be an opt-in monk mode.
Monk mode, that'll be voluntary. You could get some if you want, but forced monk mode, it means you're trying, but you just can't.
Listen, Calvin, you can't tell me when you were on the JFK, when you were out there on that on the JFK, you weren't having sex every day. You wanted to jump ship as soon as you got 100 yards from shore.
That's right. Where do you think they get mermaids from? The damn fish. They can be out there for so damn long. That's where the mermaid comes from. Yeah,
Imagine you just staring out at sea and you say to your buddy next to you, "Yo, that fish have titties?"
Yeah.
That's why I say, hey, be careful. Fred, you sent those big packets of spam. Man, that's got loaded with sodium nitrate. You got to boil the salt out of there. That's that saltpeter,
Yeah, but let me tell you.
And besides, I need a girl that's able to cook, because, I try to cook that. I don't think it's supposed to glow in the dark.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though, Robert. That was involuntary. I couldn't help going without it. Some of these guys, are going without sex, on purpose. And I don't understand that. Is yours on purpose, Dana? Are you abstaining on purpose?
Yeah. Because listen, when I come to the Philippines, I'm coming with a clean slate. And I have no problems. I have no entangling relationships at this point, and I'm keeping it that way.
Wow.
Hey, Sunshine.
I agree with you.
What about
what do you say now?
Because sometimes you're in the Matrix, you're dealing with the Matrix females. Is it that you don't have the confidence to really go up to the woman and ask them? Because that could be the issue. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna just.
Are you speaking for yourself? Are you speaking for yourself?
Yeah. No. Well. When I
I
was
think
younger,
let me tell you something. I have more female friends. I guess they feel comfortable with me. They will call and talk to me about why their husbands are doing this or why their husbands are not doing that.
Yeah, you're in the friend zone.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're in the friend zone, but we're talking about something different. But see, here's the thing about guys over in America. Y'all got crackheads over there. If nothing else, go get your damn crackhead for $10.
Yo, I'm not endorsing
that's the thing about homeless women. That's the great thing about homeless women. You can drop them back off on the street corner you picked them up on.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I'm gonna leave you for that one. Yo, hey, that's you. Make sure that
you
put a name
lose them where you find them.
Yeah,
you lose
but
them
I'm
where
just
you find
saying, for me, I'm 59, which I'm not a spring chicken, but I don't think I could go without it, man. Not right now. I would have to do something.
You're bragging about getting it 3 times a day. You have no perception of being able to go 5 days.
Now you got them mad. See?
I do, because I was on.
No, you don't. No,
I was on Kennedy before.
You're bragging all the time. Oh well, I'm getting it 2-3 times a day. I'm having a whole Maryland. You have no perception of being not having sex all the time. None.
But so is it your ego then, Dana, that won't allow you to go out and pay $15 or $20 for a piece?
No, it's my character.
Oh well, hell, I'd rather have a.
That's you.
Well, they said, okay.
That's why I'm saying me. I can't go without it, and I'm not going to go without it.
Well, that's all.
You were asking, does prayer?
That's good for you, Calvin.
I'm just asking you, how do you handle it? What do you do?
What do I do? I keep myself busy with my travel business. I keep myself busy with my cars. You know, I'm mapping out strategies for when I get over there, what I'm going to do, exactly my itinerary.
That actually doesn't
I
make
have
sense.
plenty of I have plenty of things to do.
When I'm not getting buns, I have hella hobbies too. He's actually right. That makes sense. I can understand that.
You know, you were asking Calvin, does prayer help? Well, you know, I set up a little shrine. You know, I put, you know, you got Saint Michael, Saint Raphael. Raphael's supposed to be the one that's helping you find the true love, right? So I put a little statue there, burned some candles. It didn't help.
So in other words, because everybody is in this monk mode, I'm shocked for real. I've been out. Look, me and Fred, we in a whole different place, Fred, because I'm not going. I didn't know this many people were going without sex, man. I didn't learn something new now.
Calvin, you're in the Philippines. You have no idea for us in the United States, first of all, what choices we have to choose. Okay.
Big Shirley's over there.
Tell you what choice. I'm going to tell you what choice they have.
Little to none.
They want the bigger, better deal. They're always here in America. They want, I call it the BBD. The BBD, the bigger, better deal. And that's what they want. As soon as they find it. They're on Facebook. They got their 500 Facebook friends. What are you going to do about it? You know, they want the bigger, better deal, man.
Now he said, but I'm not picking on anybody, Geechee Land. I'm really shocked. I'm out of the circle. I've been away from America for almost 4 years.
You're
and it's
way
really
out of the circle.
To me. It's really shocking to me, especially a lot of these young guys. They're going without it. Look, I swallow my pride, and I'll get with Big Shirley before I go drive. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
And guys, well, guys, I really can't identify with not the situation some of you guys are in. You know, I was in the military for 21 years, and my whole tour, you know, when I went overseas for the first time in 72, and I went back again in 76. So I lived out in Asia all my military career. So I can't identify really what you guys are talking about because I haven't had that happen because of my circumstances.
Wait a minute.
Let me
just say this.
Okay, so no, let me finish, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Before you cut in. So you guys are saying this, you know, are you in a situation because you put yourself in that situation? Or you think because of your age that you can't attract anyone? That everybody wants to, like Robert said, bigger, better deal. There's good ladies back there in the States. Okay, there's older ladies, you know, you can get involved with.
Well,
so, you know, when you're talking about,
right.
what are you looking for? Some 20, 23-year-old, some 25-year-old girl? What are you looking for? This is what I'm saying.
There you go. Okay. That 20-something girl. Yeah, I went to my doctor. I asked my doctor, is it okay if I have sex? He said, no, not if you join in.
Yeah.
Well, but what I'm saying, you know, I'm asking you the same thing I asked him. Maybe your standards are too high. Are your standards too high? Are they unrealistic? Because Fred's exactly right. There's women over there that you can, you know, deal with.
Let me tell you something.
Let me finish. Jesus is not watching for real, okay? He don't give a damn if you go ahead and screw somebody. You think that?
How did we get here?
I'm just saying.
How did we get here?
We're talking about as if there's something wrong with having sex with a woman.
No, you're trying to change that because you're the ones that talk about in monk mode and making it seem like there's something wrong.
No, I asked
where you coming from.
I never heard that terminology before. Somebody put it in the comments under my video. They said, Calvin, they call that monk mode now, where you abstain from sex, you focused on your job and your goals and whatever it is. And I'm saying, well, hell, can't you focus on your job and get a little snatch at the same time? I mean, you can multitask.
No, the little snatch. No, you don't want that, and I'm going to tell you why. Because at my age, you need an attractive woman. You know, you can't have, you know, just a yummy 7. That's not going to work, man.
See, Calvin's been over there in the Philippines that's accepting of these large gaps in ages and relationships, and he's forgotten about what it's like being in the United States. Okay, first of all, okay, the young, most of the younger, a 20-year-old to 30-year-old in the United States, you know, they don't have time for relationships, well, because they're so into their phones, okay, and their own self-image. And for me, being perfectly honest about it, for me, what do I want with a 20-year-old? She hasn't had enough life under her belt to be able to relate to anything I want to talk about. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when I start looking at when you start looking at women in I will say my particular age group, okay, I'm not attracted to a Western 72-year-old female.
Neither am I.
No, me.
Oh, wait a minute. But you guys are over in the Philippines, so you don't have to.
Okay. So you want to know what's the standard, right, Calvin? What's the standard? Okay, here's the standard. Grab the girl, cut all her hair off, and if you still want it, then that's the girl right there.
Wow.
Okay, but here's what I'm saying.
The standard where, to clarify, some elaboration.
You're gonna run a risk of getting over here and it not work. You gotta oil the machine a little bit over there, because if you're gonna get over here and you're gonna be right there with this beautiful young lady, and you're not gonna be able to perform.
How do you know?
What are you taking that chance?
David Rodriguez is in the Hall of Fame for that one, for this comment.
What did he say?
He said it's called backed up.
Yeah.
That's what we use in New York City.
But the thing about it is, how do you know it still works then? Are you
don't know?
Stressful.
Something else, you know?
Don't know.
I think
That's
it's supposed to.
You're not gonna know. You're gonna be kind of nervous.
What?
Why?
When you
What?
find it. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. I mean,
So,
I don't understand your question.
You grew up in a
Philippines, right?
grew up in an era, man. We ain't going without. I don't care what you say about me. I'm gonna have Big Shirley. I'm gonna have somebody. I'm gonna be creeping, but I'm not going without, man. I'm sorry, guys.
big, beautiful women
you.
parties. That's the easiest to get in the Matrix, USA, in USA.
Hey, have you guys ever heard about Coyote Love?
Now,
You know what Coyote Love is, Calvin?
No, what is that?
Coyote Love. That's when you wake up in the morning and you want to chew your arm off to get away.
Well, hell.
Yo, shout out to my boy James, the GOAT.
Yeah,
women try to throw it at me, but I'm faithful to my wife.
Yeah, women can get a woman short. Dana.
So, JJ, you've been awful quiet. What do you think?
Yeah, TJ,
what do you think?
Am I muted?
No, you're not muted.
I haven't been quiet. I've been talking this entire time. What do you mean? Yeah,
So what's your? You're not the monk mode though, right?
No, nah. I mean, I'm damn near close sometimes because right now I'm in a long distance relationship, but I'm back every other month, so it's like damn near. It's like monk adjacent, but I mean, I'm making up for frequency with repetition, so it's fine. It'll be okay.
Now, client says have 3 Big Shirleys on speed dial. They never say no, and see, he's being real, and that's what I would do before I would go. Before I would go without, because David, thanks for the super chat. He says this: there's always adult toys. He said, do it for the health reasons. Yeah, because
lessens the risk of prostate cancer. Real shit.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true, man. If you live long enough.
Man, I've already had prostate surgery, so I'm not even worried about that.
okay, yeah. Well, that's a whole other story we could really talk about, really.
Yeah, what sound does my piss need to make before I need to see a doctor? Is it like a little bit of flaring, or does it sound like a 62 Camaro? Like, what exactly are the logistics? Do Camaros even go back that far? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Right, you could Google that one. I don't know about that.
Yo, I'm just saying, we wandered into Prostate Valley. We might as well see the scenery while we're here. I'd like to learn something.
That's a great
to talk about prostates.
That's a good point because
YouTube will have our next for this.
because now, there's some alternatives. Of course, talk to your doctor. You don't have to have your prostate removed.
That's right.
They got procedures now where you can keep it intact and it's not as detrimental to your your sex life as once they remove that.
It's called Resume, and it's a process where they steam the prostate.
And I was reading where they've got some type of radioactive, is it pills or something that you swallow?
No, it's a kernel of rice that it's radioactive, and they insert it into your prostate. But that procedure, because it's so intrusive, they've stopped doing that. That was years ago.
But there's other alternatives, Dana.
There's putting Spider-Man rice in people's prostates.
Well, all I can tell you is I had the Resume procedure done, and therefore I don't have cancer, and my prostate is operating as normal. I'm not up 2-3 times a night.
Yeah,
I'm with it. Normalize long black lives. Let's go.
No, I'm sorry, Moochie T. I don't have tunnel vision. It's just my own perspective. See, he gets mad because he acted a damn fool. He showed himself on the True interview. He's not this tough guy that he makes everybody think he's out to be. He's really a trick.
Hey, Calvin, can I ask you a question, Calvin?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Calvin, you still washing your own shorts so they can't, talk about you, the chisma,
No, I told you, only my girlfriend or my wife washes my underwear over here because otherwise they're going to tell, they gossip over here. So whenever you hire somebody to wash your clothes over here, let them wash everything but your underwear. Otherwise, they're going to do it.
There you go.
Hey, see, King, thanks for the super chat. He says, I actually asked my doctor about sending me to a sex therapist because I want to see if my health insurance would actually pay for it. Now, does anybody have any experience with a sex therapist?
Personally,
I get my therapy.
Not maybe in the mirror. The mirror. You know what? The mirror was my therapist. I had to look inside the mirror a couple of times when I was younger and ask myself, Razer Rays, what the hell are you doing? What is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Right. Why are you not landing these?
Well, I can tell you this: if you are experiencing problems with your prostate, most people's health insurance will cover that.
Okay, James says when it builds up, it's going to come out, bro.
What builds up? Oh.
Just one moment.
I think he's warning for a risk of nocturnal emissions should one not do anything to help relieve the chance of prostate cancer.
This is right here.
Now, I forgot to tell y'all about the peso went down just a little bit. It's still at 55.81. That's still pretty strong. I'm going to do a video on the apartment that we found for my subscriber. Actually, the girl that he's dealing with, she found it for him. It's $175. It's nice, man. It's really clean. It's semi-furnished. got air conditioning, and he's got an option which he took it for 1,000 more pesos every month. He gets Wi-Fi and cable, and it's already on in his apartment.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, it was. That's really
Getting
good.
back
I mean,
to the prostate, if we can get back to the prostate for a moment, whenever I feel, if you can't fit in a straight stream and you got a little bit of a inflammation of your prostate, this is what I use. I use just the saw palmetto, and that calms things down.
All right, duly noted. Saw palmetto.
So I'm kind of curious, because we got some older guys on the panel. Dana's going to be moving to the Philippines probably one day. Robert, you're going to probably move there yourself. So when you guys move to the Philippines, what are you really looking for? I'm not talking about ladies. That can always come later. What areas are you looking into? Are you looking for a place where if you have to go to a hospital because you may have illness or something major may come along?
Well,
or are you looking at being out in an area like where Calvin's at, which is probably not bad?
For me, of course, hospitals in the area are one thing. That's why I've chosen like Davao, Cebu, Iloilo are the primary places that I'm looking at.
That's a good question, but here's one thing I could suggest. If you get a good doctor or you find a doctor here and just let them monitor your health situation. If you go every 3 months or something, or you could go every month over here, really, because it's only like $10 to see the doctor. That way you could live anywhere you want to live. But most men, what we do is we show up in the emergency room when it's an emergency. We go from A to Z. You don't have to do that. If you get a doctor and he's monitoring your situation, he said, hey, look, Calvin, your cholesterol's high, this and that, you're in risk of a stroke, then maybe I would move to Cebu or Manila or something like that. But majority of people, we don't go to the doctor enough unless we're sick or we've already had some serious illness or injury. I mean, be honest. Put your hand up if you go to the doctor every 3 months.
At my age, I've outlived 3 doctors. I've outlived 3 doctors at my age. And the best visit you can make is to the gym. I go 3 times a week to the gym and push a bunch of, I'm going to live wherever I want to live. If I want to go in the province, I'm not going to worry about it, man. If it's not your time, it's not your time.
And I believe that too, believe it or not. But I'm also into preventive maintenance. You got to take care of yourself at the end of the day. See, a lot of the guys who want to live near hospitals and different things like that, they know good and well they're not going to take care of themselves. They're not going to exercise. They're not going to, try to eat right. They're not going to go to the doctor. So they don't want to be right there on the doorstep of the hospital or the emergency room, which that's not going to help you, man.
Well, let me just tell you, that's not my fault.
But the reason I brought that up, my situation, I'm retired military. So I need to live in an area where I can use my benefits and stuff. And Pampang, Angeles City, Manila is one of those areas. And I live outside Angeles City. So to me, that was more important. But, people talk about other areas, but there's other areas in the Philippines, if you want to be near a major medical center where it's not going to cost you a fortune, especially if you're retiree or you get some type of VA benefits. So I'm up in the Pampanga areas where I'm at. We got the Clark Regional Medical Center. That's become a big thing up around Angeles. If you guys ever get a chance to go there, it's really a lot of changes. You get out to the base, look around. Because when you say Angeles City, first thing people start thinking about is the nightlife. Yeah, there's nightlife there, but it's not like it was back in the days when the bases was there. Angeles City, surrounding areas are more friendly, family-friendly destinations you can go to. They got some top-notch hospitals, doctors. You got a large expat community that will help you through most difficulties that may arise. And I chose there because I live there, so that's why I'm there.
Fred, it was like you and I were talking about recently. Angeles City is more dangerous because of its reputation than it is today as a city.
You know, my father was going to the VA on a regular basis, but his illness was so severe that it didn't matter how good of an insurance he had. It didn't matter how good of a hospitals he was going to. He was going to die. And that's just the mindset I'm in. So he eventually died at 61.
Yeah.
61 years young. That's young. There was just nothing that they could do for him. But he had good insurance. He went to the doctor on a regular basis. And unless you're going to the doctor on a regular basis, you got good insurance, it doesn't make a difference how close you live to the doctor or to the hospital if you're not taking care of yourself. And that's all I'm
true. Yeah, but it's true. But see, in our case, I had a friend that passed away, and I was fortunate enough to see him while he was still, in the hospital. Well, say if this family was paying a small fortune, because you realize if you don't have any type of medical insurance in the Philippines, unless you got a lot of money put away and you have a major medical issue that comes up, then, you got big problems. And most hospitals are not going to take you unless you're going to be paying some money up front. But because he was retired, he had that TRICARE insurance. I forget how many millions of pesos they came through. His family had very small copay they had to pay. And that's what I'm saying. If you're going to be there in the Philippines, and Calvin, you're right. Guys never get a checkup. When you're younger, you don't think about that. But you start getting older if you want to move there. You can't be living on the property someplace. You got to live in a place where if you do have medical issues, that you can, that you can get care if you need it, and you don't have to go too far to get that.
Yeah, if you come over here,
why not marry a nurse? There are plenty of nurses around, and they can take your blood pressure and make sure your nutrition's good. Marry a nurse. I was born on an Air Force base in California in San Rafael, and the nurses and the doctors were fantastic. Being born on the best doctors and nurses in the world. And the doctor looked at my mom and he said, "I did everything I could," and he pulled through anyway.
Yeah. Now this guy says he's starting to turn into the Dr. Phil show. He must be a young guy because he doesn't understand quality of life is a whole lot better than quantity of life. This is the things we don't talk about. I had a friend, John Moonshine Shoulders, who came over here living his best life, and he died at 61. So why can't we talk about health and healthcare every now and then?
Well, hopefully it's helping somebody.
Than sex. All they want to do is talk about dating and women and relationships. It's really more to it over here than that. Okay.
Balance.
But we always talk about when guys go, and you're gonna make a plan. Even if you're young, make a plan for that too, because things can go wrong when you're a young person. You're coming over there, you're living there. Have your options open.
Calvin, how often do you visit your doctor?
About every 2 months because it only costs me $10. I just went to the doctor, okay, because I had like a bacterial infection, something like a UTI. Okay, but it only costs me $10 over here. But I'm constantly going because it doesn't make a difference if I don't go to the doctor. I could be living right next door to the best hospital. If I wait too late, it's not going to do me any good. This is what I'm an insurance agent. I see it all the time. Guys retire, they have the best insurance, but they never use it. Why not go to a doctor and him situation? You can live anywhere you want to live, but you got to take care of yourself. And most of us don't do that. We're too lazy. So we want the good insurance. We want the great hospital. But that ain't gonna do you no good, Dana, if you show up, you're 50 pounds overweight or 75 pounds overweight. What good does it do? Do you?
Calvin Hills asked him. That's why it was asked about the cost of living on Guam. The thing is, it depends. Are you retired military living here? $4,000 a month depends on where you live. You got to realize living on Guam is almost like living in Hawaii. Housing is very expensive here. Rent has went up. Maybe it depends on where you live. Like I said, you can pay anywhere from $800 to $2,000 or more dollars for rent, depending on where you want to live.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive over there, right, Fred? It can be.
Yeah, it can be. And my saving grace is because I can shop on a military base. I get my gas there. I get my groceries there. So, that's a plus in my favor.
Do they got a hood in Guam for,
like a hood where
where the rent is cheap? It's not so, glamorous, but the rent.
Well, maybe not glamorous, but it might be the type of neighborhood you don't want to live in. Guam's got its bad neighborhoods also.
Yeah, but do they have? Yeah.
Oh yeah. You can find a place here for $500-$600 a month, maybe $800 a month. But the thing is, to get to some of the nice places, you sort of got to look around. You got to do your homework and stuff. So I was kind of fortunate when I got here. Things weren't as expensive as they are now.
Well, the thing that scares me. The thing that scares me the most over there, to be honest with you, is the mosquitoes, the dengue, because you can be a big, strong, healthy guy. You get a good, strong case of dengue, you might not pull through.
We really haven't had that problem, to be honest with you. You got more of a chance getting dengue in certain areas of the Philippines than you get here. Doesn't mean people don't get it, but it's kind of rare, is what I want to say.
It's even though, okay, over in the Philippines, if you live near water, that's where the mosquitoes are. And especially standing water, like in a lot of these squatters areas and places where they don't have good sanitation, good plumbing. This is where the dengue is, okay? This is where you're going to have problems. But if you live in a subdivision, I haven't been bitten by a mosquito. I can't tell you when. But when you go to places around bodies of water like the ocean, different places like that, you got to be careful. But when you come over here, make sure that you wear that off lotion. We don't do it. We don't take care of ourselves, guys. We just come over here, get with we really let ourselves go when we get over here. We become worse off here than we were at home. The only difference is you got a beautiful woman next to you. Well, hell. But
the other guys, you guys need to realize is going to the Philippines, make sure you got all your shots current, okay? All that. Make sure you got a shot record. Make sure you got all your shots current, before you think about traveling to the Philippines.
Thanks, Wall Street Bets, for the super chat. He says, is Cebu open for the non-vaccinated tourists? Well, the country's not open. See, here's the thing. They're not going to let you get on the plane to leave your home country. They're going to ask you for your vaccination and your COVID requirements. See, this is the now if you're a ballot buying or a Filipino or returning Filipino or something like that, maybe you can get in here, but a regular tourist, I don't believe so.
Most of the airlines, Calvin, Dana probably knows this, is usually going by what the requirement of that country is.
That's right.
It requires you to have a vaccination, then you need to have it. And when you get on, get on a plane or you check in, they're going to be looking for that before they even let you on the plane.
Here's what I know. I just left Guam. I just left Thailand in June. Before they even let you check in, they want to see my vaccination card, my booster card, and the requirements of the Philippines. This is what I'm telling him from experience.
That's because you were coming in from Thailand, Calvin. Right now, that's because you were coming in from Thailand. Right now, if you're flying into Cebu and you're not vaccinated, you can fly into Cebu, but you have to go into immediate 5-day quarantine.
Yeah, well, but Cebu is in the Philippines, right?
No, Calvin, it's on Mars.
Well, then. Listen, guys, I wouldn't take that chance. I would make sure knew 100% because that's a long flight, man. Okay.
Hey, man, I got a client right now that I'm hand wrestling with, and the guy doesn't want to get vaccinated. And then when he checked with the immigration law, with immigration in the Philippines somewhere, they told him that the only place that he could fly into from the United States was into Cebu, and he has to go into immediate 5-day quarantine. And they escort him to that whatever hotel they're using for that 5 day. He don't have to worry about getting a taxi.
Well, let's have him. I'd like to have him or somebody else come on here because that type of information, I'm not even gonna put that out there because unless it's 100% fact, okay? Because I don't want anybody flying over here on the other side of the world, of the earth, and they can't get in. Okay. Just like this guy said, he says airlines are not asking for vaccination cards. Not in the United States. No, they've stopped that.
Let me just correct. For international flights, they'll still ask you again if your destination country requires a vaccination.
That's right.
As somebody that's flying every month, they're still going to card you.
Hey, but it's even worse if they don't ask you. Because if you get on a plane and USA don't ask you, they let you on that plane. You fly what 20 hours over there, and then you can't get in because you don't have it. That's even worse. I'd rather USA ask me.
And the USA is going to ask you because it's their, to his point, it's their expense on the airline. If you do get all the way over there and they need to put you on a seat back because they didn't check, the airline has to eat that cost. So, like, for example, I'm like, if I frequent with United. Like, United's not letting you on that plane unless they see a passport because they're not about to pay no money off for you if they can help it.
Right. And see, it really doesn't matter what country I was coming from. I was coming into the Philippines. I'm talking about Thailand. It wouldn't have mattered. Don't you know that Thailand is part of that Asian countries where a Filipino doesn't even need a visa. They got special requirements. But the Philippines, the country, requires a vaccination card. They checked me right at the counter. I couldn't go any further without that. But thanks, Kevin Hill, for the super chat. He said, thanks, Calvin, for providing this forum and to all the gentlemen for their experiences.
You know, Calvin, flying from Guam, which I'm going to be doing, me and Lynn, we're going to come over there for a month this year. And one thing is, if I got a booster, I don't have to worry about quarantine. But if you don't have the booster, you're still going into quarantine for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have the booster.
That's right. Or you got to take the test. Now, if you take the test 48 hours prior. Now, your wife is different, Fred. She could probably come here without a vaccine, but she would have to go into quarantine because she's a returning Filipino. She's a valid buy-in.
Yeah, but she's also an American citizen. So
but she's always going to
she has a bill of buy-in.
Valid buy-in, though.
Yeah, bill of buy-in. You know, you have certain requirements.
It doesn't matter what passport she uses to come back.
Well, she's not a dual citizen.
She's still going to be a valid buy-in. It doesn't matter.
But it comes in. I got to look at what they had on that because I don't remember all of it. But I do know that if I come with her and let's say we decide we want to stay a year, I don't need a return ticket because she's a bill of buy-in as long as I travel with her.
Yep.
Yeah, you can I exactly right. Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
You know, I really care about you guys. Everyone watching this channel right now, please listen to my voice because I'm going to give you some good information. Get your hepatitis B and hepatitis A vaccinations. You know, I joke around a lot, okay, but I can be a serious person. I have a certificate of nursing from the Arizona Nursing Association. I have that record, and I've also worked as an IFSDA first-class firefighter. I'm telling you, get that as a nurse, I had to have the hepatitis A, hepatitis B. And let me tell you why. Why do you want to have that? Because in the Philippines, believe it or not, 4 out of 10 women have hepatitis. So keep it zipped up, man. You better keep that zipped up until you go see the doctor. You take her with you. You both get a clean check bill of health. Please do that. before you do anything. It's just take her. If you have to go to the next city over because she's embarrassed or whatever, just take her over to the college, get a doctor, have the examination, okay? And make sure that she doesn't have hepatitis. She doesn't have hepatitis C, B, or A, or any of the other alphabet soup. You know, you don't want that, man. It'll destroy you. It'll bring you down.
Thanks, Wall Street Bets, for that super chat. Said, thank you, Calvin, for sharing your journey. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for your support. But here's a guy, he just came back. He just came back yesterday from Thailand. He said, I second Calvin's info. I just came in from Thailand. We went out to eat. He took me and Marilyn and another subscriber when we were up in Manila. Marky Mark took us out to eat at BGC. Yeah, he just came back. He actually met up with Mr. Lee over there. So if anybody's going to Thailand, he can bear witness to what I'm saying. Mr. Lee is a good tour guide to have. Matty J. Anthony Johnson said, Thailand's wide open, guys. Philippines will eventually ease up on the vaccine.
I'm not sure about that, Kelvin. I'm not sure about the Philippines when he's up on that. Because you saw the latest thing, you know, they're trying to get more people vaccinated now.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about that second part. First part about Thailand being wide open is for sure.
Let me make one more point on the hepatitis vaccinations. That's going to take a while. You need to prepare now because you take one shot, then a month later you take another shot, and then 3 months later, it's a regimen. It's going to take several months to get that vaccination against hepatitis. You don't want to come over there without the hepatitis vaccinations, and you don't want to be monkeying around. You're talking about a life risk.
Now, remember, guys, he's giving good information, but it's not required. It's not a requirement.
No.
But that is good information.
Yeah.
Because guys, you don't understand. This guys watching my channel, they'll take that and they'll be like, well, I'm not going to get it, so I guess I'm not coming to the Philippines. But what I would do is I would talk to I never took any vaccine coming over here because I didn't even know. I didn't know if you need it. But some guys, when they go to their doctor and they say, hey, I'm going to the Philippines, he'll give them a long list of stuff like this. This is what he'll tell you. Because this is what John did. John took all of this right.
They gave you a bunch of vaccinations in the military, Calvin, remember?
Yeah. But I mean, it's not required. But John took all of this stuff right here, hepatitis, typhoid, yellow fever. He said the only one he didn't get was the Japanese encephalitis because he said his insurance wouldn't cover it. How long does the vaccination, how long does it last, Robert?
Well, it's just like anything else. Your tetanus shot is going to last 10 years. At least get your tetanus shot, That's an easy thing to do. Just a little shot in the arm. It's not going to be, and you want to protect yourself there. But I think the hepatitis should be good for 5 years. I would.
Yeah. Now, another thing that's over here that a lot of guys don't talk about, tuberculosis is real strong over here. And, that's a contagious disease. But when you talk about going to the doctor, first of all, you go to the doctor and have your certificate ready when you go over here, and then encourage her to go to the doctor because a lot of women over here don't go to the doctor. You can't afford it. Okay. Now, if you're gonna send your woman some money over here, get her a Phil Health plan. Maryland's got a Phil Health plan. We pay it by the year. It's 3,600 pesos for the whole year, guys. That's what you spend your money on over here. All that other stuff y'all spending money on and sending money for the girl to blow it. Get her some health insurance over here.
Once you get there.
Yeah, once you get there, before, if you can trust her health, you sending money over here, you get that down, then you show me the card. But we don't think about stuff like that because it's not important. all we want to do is go like this, Fred. That's it. That's all we think about when we think of the Philippines. There's a whole lot more to think about over here, guys. But he said HIV. Let's talk about that real quick because the Philippines has an epidemic over here, HIV, but it's mostly affecting men. It's mostly affecting gay men over here. About 85% of all new cases are men. Does that mean you can't catch it? No, it just means that, you know, if you're being responsible, you're probably not going to catch it. But who's being responsible over here? The minute we get off the plane, we take our pants off. We trust a woman we don't even know. She says, here, you can have it, and we're taking it because, first of all, we're in monk mode over there. You know, you're not getting anything over there. It makes you desperate. So when you come over here and you got this beautiful young lady, you're not even thinking about it. You're going to jump right in there. And that's why I was telling my friend here, I said, man, slow down. I know you haven't had anything in 8 years. Take one day to take her to the doctor. Okay, you can go one more day without it. Hell, you went 8 years. Now, whether he does or not, I don't know. But that's another reason why you should
dip
your stick in something over there.
Safe sex, protective sex. You gotta just hop. If the girl don't ask you to put on the rubber, would you voluntarily put it on? Do you? All right. Do you think you're gonna offend the girl by saying, "Look, I want to put this thing on, this rubber on"? You know, that's a question because some guys feel like they kind of offending the girl. Of course, they're not gonna want to take the girl for a test. And if the girl's saying, "No, don't put it on," and you put it on, you know, some guys just take it off, so because they don't want to offend the girl. So that's an issue too.
What I found in the Philippines is it's usually the opposite. That a girl might want to, but she's afraid because in the Philippines, it's raw dog a lot of times. Sometimes affordability reasons, sometimes Catholicism reasons, a lot of times not wanting to wear a condom reasons. But a lot of times she'll be afraid to ask you if you don't put it on because she doesn't want you to like flip out on her or anything. So it's actually, I'd say, polite to take the initiative a lot of times, especially.
Yeah. It's not going to be a big deal. That's a fact. Okay. But if you insist on it, yeah, go ahead. Okay. But he says, how are these men catching AIDS? They're making peanut butter sandwiches over here, Fred. And
they're over there spreading monkeypox.
Yeah. And the thing is, y'all guys got to understand something. We're living in a place where, and you can't down people for this. You got men over here who are hustling these gays. It's a hustle. Okay, so they taking 500 pesos to to get in between them cheeks, so to speak.
Well, I'll tell you, Calvin, I'll tell you this. Right now, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, what's that? Myanmar. They all had cases of this monkeypox. And one of the things that they're finding is it's skin to skin contact. You don't have to be a homosexual to transmit that. Okay.
Yeah, that's monkeypox. We're talking about AIDS.
Well, it's one of the same.
Huh?
Hold up.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm not a doctor, but yeah, you're right. I don't want that monkeypox either. But he was asking us about AIDS.
Wait. Can we go back to how monkeypox and AIDS are the same? That's new information to me.
What?
You say monkeypox and AIDS were one and the same?
Communicable diseases.
No, we're talking about AIDS.
Cannot get AIDS via skin to skin contact now. Talk.
Yeah, he's right about this because Thailand has an epidemic, an AIDS epidemic too. And it's really dangerous because a lot of guys that go over there, you know, they're going in the clubs. They actually have a peel that they sell over there for guys who don't want to use a rubber. You know, after you have sex, you take the peel and you're supposed to be okay. I mean, if you want to take that kind of risk. But yeah, they actually have a real live peel. You go to the pharmacy and you buy it if you don't want to wear a rubber. But that would be, man, it would be so risky over there, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like at that point, you might as well just throw the dice on the pull-out method if we're just trusting, hope she doesn't get pregnant pills on the dude's side. I need some FDA testing before I'm just like, oh, okay, I'll take this.
Okay, well, maybe you don't get her pregnant, but then you still catch HIV.
True.
Hey, Calvin.
True.
Can I ask a question there, Calvin? I got a question for you. When you go shopping to the 7-Eleven grocery store, how often do you see those packets of condoms up on the shelf, and are they just sitting there forever because they can't afford them, or what's the deal? I understand the religious part of it, the contraception, the Catholic Church. I understand all of that, but do they have it available there for you?
I think you got to go to the pharmacy. It's the only place I see them. But but listen,
depends.
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying that I see them. Because I don't hardly go into the 7-Elevens, but they're out of sight. You got to ask for them, and people are real, you know, embarrassed to ask for that kind of stuff. So they do it on the down low, but they're over here. But the first time I use one, man, it's just too little. You got to bring your own over here.
That's the bigger concern. You can freely get both condoms and lube at like a 7-Eleven or a mini stop or whatever, but you can't just be out here like, you can't just. They may not. It's not a one size fits all situation, to put it politely.
Okay, so what you're saying then? What you're saying, Calvin, is just because you don't see it up on the shelf behind the counter doesn't mean they don't have it if you ask.
Right, but see, it's because it's a conservative Catholic, Roman Catholic society, very few people really use them over here. That's why a lot of times when you meet a Filipino over here that's already had relations with a Filipino man, a lot of times they'll have a UTI infection, man, and then they'll pass that on, whatever it is, on to you. You know, you got to be careful over here because a lot of the men, they're not using condoms over here.
Out here dirty dogging.
Listen,
you have to really be careful until you're comfortable with going. You know, you've been with the girl, you know she's okay, you've established a relationship. Then you can go bareback, but until then, man, you got to really be careful, guys, over here. Anywhere
out here, dropping the glizzy on the ground and putting it back on the grill.
I suggest to all my clients that are coming to the Philippines to take their own condoms. And the reason I suggest that is because I don't know what the shelf life is of a pack of condoms. However, I know that the demand is so low for them that any place that's got them, who knows how long they've had it? 6 months? A year? 9 weeks? Who knows?
From a less pragmatic standpoint, like, are you really trying to like wait until like 2:38 a.m. when you're about to seal the deal and you realize that you have rubbers and now you're downstairs at Family Mart at 2 something in the morning are these the right size, or let me Google these, and then you get back upstairs and it turns out you ain't got a packet of water balloons basically. That's not just bring your own. Just save yourself some heartache.
Yeah,
even if you might use them, just bring them.
Exactly.
There's a contradiction here, though, Calvin. There's a big contradiction here because you can't have the condoms out in plain view. The religious thing, but you got guys out in the street selling Viagra.
Yeah, but is it real Viagra?
And that's very specific parts of Phil's. Like you're really only gonna find that like
Angelis,
Oladipo, P. Burgos, stuff like that.
Yeah, if you're out on the street, you always got the vendors selling that stuff. Yeah.
Remember when I was making that video in Dumagetti, there was a guy had a box. He was trying to see. He was on the other side of the street. He was trying to sell them to me. So when you go around places where a lot of foreigners are with the red light districts, they're selling that stuff. But I wouldn't take that stuff, man. You don't know what's in
there.
No, you don't. You don't know what's in that stuff.
Children's Tylenol mixed with some Drano.
And now here's the other thing you got to be careful of.
In Japan.
Huh?
What was that stuff that guy sent you from Japan?
Oh, no, he sent this from Singapore.
Okay, from Singapore.
That was the real deal, but I got rid of it, man. I didn't need it. It was the tuxedo peel. He sent me like 3 different things that he wanted me to try. I tried them all, and they worked. You know, they worked.
To run Marilyn out the house, huh? She made you get
rid of it. Believe it or not, Marilyn said, "No, you're not taking that stuff no more." She made me stop taking it, but I don't need it.
But Calvin, we were talking about, when you go to those areas where they got the clubs, these guys are selling these pills. Even if you was to buy some of that, you got to be careful because you don't know if they're selling you drugs. You want to get some drugs, man. There's somebody there waiting for you. You might as well go and make a trip to the ATM machine because you're going to be paying some money. And why would you buy off anybody from the street anyway? Go right to the pharmacy and get it if you want it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You can walk into literally any mercury or generic.
The reason I kept this up here is because let's get rid of this. This is a myth. This is a rumor right here. This is a lie. Let's get rid of it. He said, thinking with the little head, not the big. When everybody's heard that, this is the biggest sex organ that you got right here. Yep. Okay. This is where it begins and where it ends right here. It's not down here. This gets you in trouble here. Not that.
Right. And once that triangulates down there, that down there takes over. This shuts off.
Right. Yeah. It's already a foregone conclusion when you got to that point. Like,
this though. He says, okay, here's the thing that he says, how can HIV be among the men but not the women? I said the new cases, because
you remember that old program? Remember that old program, Starsky and Hutch? Remember that old program? Well, Starsky, his wife had AIDS, and he never did get it. I think it's a little hard to get. I mean, you got to work hard to get it.
Well, from a man catching it from a woman, yes, but from a woman catching it from a man, no. Yeah, that's why they were saying Magic Johnson probably got it from a man.
Oh wow.
What's up, Jeff Payton? I didn't see a single black person the whole half a year I was in Davao, so it's wild that y'all are just popping up out of the blue now. But shout out to you. Always glad to see more brothers in town.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it is, it's spreading among, the gay community here like it was everywhere else. Now, if you are an intravenous drug user, or you take, you getting blood transfusions and all of that, maybe. But most of it is coming from that gay community. I'm not saying this. This is what the health officials here are saying. And they said it's passed through the semen, he says. But either way it goes, you can have the best rubbers in the world, but they don't protect you from crabs, Fred.
Nope, they don't.
you gotta wear down a bubble suit,
a suit of armor.
God.
They don't protect you from crabs.
I was thinking, Dana, it's a shame you're not going to be there when I'm there, because I would love to be able to take you around, let you see another perspective, to hang out with me.
Another perspective of what?
I'm talking about, down in Angela City, all the areas outside of there.
Oh yeah.
I travel to. I'd be more than happy to show you that. I'll probably get with Cornelius when I'm there. So he's supposed to come down, and we'll probably hook up, while I'm there.
Yeah. Well, Cornelius, I'm gonna tell you something. He ain't in monk mode. He's over
he's
here.
not.
I can bear witness to that. You know, monk. He's beating some stuff up over here. But anyway, this guy says if a foreigner chooses to play the field in the Philippines and informs the Pinay that they're not looking for anything serious, shouldn't they consider she will try other options while dating them? Absolutely, and she's going to.
For sure.
Yeah, she is.
That's the whole point about playing the field.
Yeah.
That comes with the contract, bud.
Yeah.
Hey, Calvin, can we do something really? I know Fred. I've seen Fred. Fred. These other guys on the panel. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Robert. I'm from Tucson, Arizona. And who? Give me an idea who the other panelists. Can we do just a quick review for my own benefit?
Go ahead, Rob. I mean, Raise. Tell them who you are again.
He said, who the hell is this guy with the muscles up top? I'm Raymond. Well, my real name Raymond. Razer Rays. I got a YouTube channel. I go out more so to South America and the Caribbean.
Okay.
But I'm from New York City, Brooklyn, New York. Always ducking bullets out here. That's why I actually landed on Sunshine Shoulders channel, because I'm always looking for a way out of this crazy hellhole out here in New York City. So, I started watching his channel. His channel gives me a sense of home, but I'm from New York City, and I'm into personal training and things like that. But I love flying out of this USA, and I will be making my debut into Philippines one of these days. I can't tell you exactly when, but I love listening to you guys. You guys give a lot of information.
Okay, TJ, introduce yourself.
Sure, why not? TJ, where to start? Everything I guess Calvin implies is somewhat true. Yeah, 5-star. I'm like a 4.5 star. Again, you have to average that sort of thing out. So a life liver. I also live in Brooklyn, but I am not from New York. I am from Oakland, California. Brooklyn is just the closest thing to the town on the East Coast, so that's where I live.
Foothill Avenue.
Yeah. I'm from a little further north, but Foothill. That's still that's equally as wild. You also be ducking bullets here. This is a slightly more gentrified section of Bed-Stuy, though. I'll be hunky dory. And yeah, I travel. I work predominantly in the States, but a decent chunk in Phils as well, and that's a big source of my back and forth there. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, Razer Rays, he says, where in Brooklyn are you now?
East New York. So the bullets are flying and Razer Rays is ducking. So yeah, East New York, unfortunately.
What part of East New York?
Oh, now you're going deeper and deeper. East New York, yeah. But Broadway Junction, then if you want that detail, Broadway Junction, like a couple of blocks from there.
Say word. Yeah. My boy live in Starrett City. He actually mess with Columbia too.
Store, right?
Yep.
What floor are you on, Razer Rays?
Which what?
What floor are you on?
What apartment? What's my apartment number?
What room of the house are you in right now?
Oh man.
Calvin, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just got a quick comment here. I've traveled. I've lived in Mexico. I speak fluent Spanish. Yo puedo hablar contigo en español, pues. But my experience there, you're still the gringo, and in the Philippines, it's like, hey, Joe, have you had something to eat? Hey, Joe, did you take your medicine? Hey, Joe, why not go where you're liked?
Nah, bro, you still a gringo. You just don't understand the language anymore.
Well, at least they pretended like you, right?
Yeah, you're always going to be a foreigner over here. I don't know why, but yeah, you're a foreigner. Yeah, okay, that's Franz. He says he's not too far from you. Franz just left the Philippines. He's in Brooklyn.
Canarsie. Yeah, Canarsie, you can get shot too. But
oh yeah, you can most certainly get shot in Canarsie.
Shot at Canarsie too.
They just removed that feature from Bed-Stuy. Well, this part at least. I'm just the best at heights. So it's finally got quiet here.
Yeah. No, it's not true. They don't. I don't know why. People think eyebrows. They don't. They paint their eyebrows on. Most of them.
Right? Eyebrows be pencil thin. My lord.
There's no hair. She really don't have any eyebrows. Really.
Yeah, that's not a country where you gotta deal with too much of that. There's really
but a lot of women have moles.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, not too much. Not a lot of sun protection in the Philippines, and a lot of sun. So if you don't get melanated, you get moldy real fast.
But here's the thing: they said if a woman's got a mole, especially on her face, she's a great cook. Now, according to that's the Philippine law.
It's mole propaganda. The mole women put that out there to raise their value. I don't believe it. Show me some evidence.
No, it's true though. My ex had a mole, and she's one of the best cooks. But it's just what I was told. You know
what's wild? One of the most fire places I've ever eaten in Thailand, and it's gotten plenty of YouTube coverage, so I wouldn't be shocked if you heard of it. It's a spot called Ranjay Phai, and old girl that runs it is like a 60, 70-some-year-old with just the biggest mole ever, but her cooking is so fire, it's like the 5th or 6th most important thing about her. So you might be onto something.
Yeah. Did you try any of that? Do you like Indian food, TJ?
Yeah, I love Indian food.
Did you try any when you was in Thailand?
Yeah, I've had a few spots. You got a really rich both Malay and Indian tradition out there, so even the non-Thai curries are fuego. Yeah. Indian, you'd be surprised. You can get good Indian food all over the place. There's a fire spot in Medellin in the middle of Colombia that one of my bros swears by. It was just randomly in the middle of Parque Lleras. No other Indian places for miles in any direction, but they're crushing it. So, shout out to them. Shout out to India.
Yeah, I've got a place. It's called Little Spicy. It's on Soy 11 in Bangkok. And the naan bread and basmati rice is on another level. But the curry chicken was some of the best I've ever tasted. And they give you a big portion. It's delicious. Eric Powell, thanks for that super chat. He said, Robert, what's the difference between Mexican and Filipino women?
Mm-hmm.
I can answer that question. First of all, let's go what they have in common. These are big Catholic communities, okay? So they got a lot in common to start with. Okay, close-knit families, real close-knit families. You got to tie in with the family. You're marrying the family. And you're going to be visiting the cousins and the neighbors and the aunts, and everybody's going to know each other. Okay, now what's the difference? Okay, the difference is in the age gap. 20 years is okay in Mexico, and maybe 30, 40 years, in the Philippines, seen in the same light. But Mexico, really, if you're like 55 and she's 35, that's okay. But, you're not going to find some 20-something girl over there in Mexico. You just forget about that. Now, let's talk about the food, the way they food, and they want to run the show. The Mexican girls, they run the household. They run the show. A Filipina is going to be, let's not say submissive, but she's going to be more amicable. She's going to follow your lead because, no honey, no money. But in Mexico, you're going to have to ante up. You're going to have to court her. The cultures, there are more similarities than differences. They want to be courted. They want you to court. They want you to sing to them and bring flowers and chocolate. And let me tell you one thing. Here's the difference between a man and a woman. A man needs sexual support to feel emotional. Oh, I love you. I love you. He gets the sexual. Oh, I love you. A woman needs emotional support to feel sexual.
Hey, Jason, thanks for the super chat. He says, for those of us, I'm going to let you answer this, TJ, because I think you can help him. He said, for those of us that aren't retired, how do the younger guys work and make money while they are out of the U.S.
Great question. I need that. I need that info.
Yeah, but
Please,
let's TJ answer this because he's the perfect guy to answer this question. Read that, TJ.
So the big question, I mean, the easy question is, can you code? Because obviously, if you're a decent coder, you can basically work wherever you want in the world right now. Remote jobs are wide open. We are seeing a bit of a contraction as far as the amount of folks in the workforce, but there's always a need for engineers. Silicon Valley is permanently running low. So coding is your best way to financial freedom if you're starting, let's say, anywhere after the age of 23, 24 looking at this, because you kind of miss the hot
outside of the U.S.
Outside of the States. That's what I'm saying. When you're coding, you can take on independent contracting projects. You can work for companies as a contractor or on a basis that doesn't necessarily require you to be in the States. Allow companies, Airbnb, for example, is permanently removing the requirement to return to office. So you work for Airbnb, as long as you reside in the States and still have an address or post office and pay taxes here, you can live wherever you want in the States. Another thing, I was gonna say, another thing is finding a company a company or a profession that makes sense for traveling. BPO is a super big industry in the Philippines. If you have experience in, say, biz dev or sales or even training or one-to-many education, that's a real easy way into a career in BPO. And a lot of that, unless you're working with BPOs are based two places: the Indian subcontinent, which is, say, India, and the Philippines. You have some places in Central Europe, Western Europe, et cetera, but those are your two big bases in the world. So as long as you tie up with a spot based in Phils, you can easily make your way into a career, at least part-timing it or spending full-time there. And then at the end of the day, you can parlay that into a career as a consultant, stay in Phils, do stuff for BPOs that you don't necessarily work directly for, and make an income that way. Me personally, I'm waiting on a bunch of tech stock to IPO so I could build a boat and not to talk to any of y'all anymore. But to each their own, I think is a really good way to look at it. But yeah, if you're hungry, you're resourceful, you're scrappy, you can find a way.
Yeah.
There are a lot of them out here, especially in the remote age.
Thanks, TJ. Panda Stat said, watching Calvin talk about Indian and Thai food is the funniest thing. Calvin, I can't believe you didn't know these foods are some of the best like in America. Yeah, I did, but I've always been married in America, and we very seldom ate out. If we did, it was, Chinese food. We never tried Thai food or Indian food. You're talking about tunnel vision. Yeah, we had tunnel vision there, but yeah, it wasn't until I got outside the United States that I actually went to Thailand did I actually eat Thai food and Indian food in the restaurant. Here's a question. He said, there's a question. He said, most Filipinos I see on YouTube are always saying, I don't want to get darker and running for the sun. Do they realize they're on a tropical island? Yeah, but it's very competitive here, and fair-skinned people get a lot more job offers, really, especially if you're in the music industry, if you're an entertainer, if you want to be a model and different things like that. It's just that's how it is all around the world, really, guys. I mean, let's don't be.
Calvin, can I ask a quick question? As far as the men are concerned, let's talk about the men for just a minute. The Filipina perception, where do we rank with Australians and Englishmen and people from Finland or,
we're at the top. We're at the top. They would rather have an American man if they're going to deal with the Westerner. Okay, this because they got a love affair with America. We've got history with the Philippines where these other countries don't.
We have a high degree of soft power in the Philippines.
The story that Filipinos get in history is MacArthur saving them from the Japanese, remember? So they love us for that. They don't talk about the history of the American-Filipino War You very seldom hear any about that. But yeah, Robert, to answer your question, that's why they love us. They speak English and everything like that. Hey, Eric, thanks for that super chat. He said coding is not the only or best way to get into remote work as a tech worker. Look up AWS Educate or AWS Restart. Hit me up and I can give you a hand. What is that? What's he talking about?
Yeah, what the hell is that? Do I need a degree, 4-year degree?
Now he said, let me address this. He says the easiest way is a YouTube channel. Yeah, well, you try it and see that how hard it is to even get established. If I'd have known if I knew the odds against me to begin with a YouTube channel, I never would have started one, but I didn't know. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, and I started my YouTube channel really. YouTube owed me $53. Well, I had to get $100 for them to pay me. Little did I know that they changed the rules. You need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch time hours. You think that's easy? Try it and see. It usually takes people, the average YouTuber, 1.5 to 2 years to get 4,000 watch time hours.
Right.
No, that's not easy, dude. Okay. That's because you see a lot of people doing it. You see the tip of the iceberg. Guys like Razer and me, people who are monetized, man, we're the tip of the iceberg. Everywhere you look in the Philippines, somebody's walking around with a damn cell phone and camera. Mm-hmm. But only a very few people ever really earn any money from it.
Right. It's hard. It is hard. But if you continue with, you get a following like you have, Sunshine, and there's a handful of Philippine YouTubers that I watch that are great. I'm not, y'all making money. Y'all making some money that allows y'all to live. But that's not everybody. So you could try it, Chris Williams, but it's no guarantee at all.
Yeah, but here's what this guy doesn't understand. You can't do a live stream, dude, until you get, well, on YouTube, anyway. I don't know. Who's going to watch you, A. Patterson? This is what you don't understand. When you start a YouTube channel, nobody even knows you exist.
Yeah, one person watching.
Yeah, you think, you can put up the, and man, come on, guys.
You have your mama watching or your brother
it's tough.
watching.
Just take my word for it, okay? It's hard, man. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Exactly. That's what happens. That's the reality. People see us doing it, okay? And they think, oh, I can do that. That's what I want to earn my money and supplement my retirement until they start doing it. And they're like, well, where's my viewers? Where's my subscribers?
Then they quit very fast. They quit very fast.
They quit very fast.
They be embarrassed about the low amount of views. But oh man, I quit.
They quit. It takes just an unbelievable amount of luck.
Timing, yes, luck and timing.
Yeah. Trust me, if I'd have known all this, Fred, I'd have never started my channel, man. I promise.
Did you ever think your channel would become as popular as it's become?
I never imagined. It never even came across my mind. But now that it is, I got to work to keep it going. I've got to help other people. So, like the True Channel, Razer, different. If I see that your channel has potential, I'll throw you out there. And I'll help you get further along than YouTube would do. Because if you depend on YouTube only, sorry, you're going to be in for a long haul. Right? Race?
Oh, yeah. Yes. It's pretty depressing, especially when you, like you said, you couldn't.
Are you going to have a little celebration, Calvin, with your 40,000 subscribers? Maybe a little special, a little celebration. That's a big achievement, man. From there on to 80,000, right?
That's a great idea. But I'm going to tell you, I celebrate every damn subscriber I get. But really, when you have a lot of subscribers, YouTube doesn't pay you or reward you for subscribers. They reward you by views and your following, comments, different things like that, likes, the engagement. See,
super chats. Tell them donate. Super chat.
Yeah, here's the thing. When I met Roger and Esmeralda, they had 10 times more subscribers than me. When I met them, I had only 1,000 subscribers. They had 11,500 subscribers, but wasn't nobody watching their channel. So I gave them some instructions, some advice on how to get people to watch their channel. It's not, but yeah, you're right. It is something I'm going to celebrate, but I celebrate every damn subscriber I get, to be honest with you. Because I know how fickle it is. I'm going to tell, you got to have good content, first of all. Yeah. You got to have a reason for people to watch you. You can't just get on here and be like, blah, 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 blah. It ain't going to happen. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. There's a guy I used to watch. I can't think his name. Was it Mike? He died of a heart attack, right? He had like 30-something thousand subscribers. He had a bustling. He was one of the first ones over here that really, Rike, different ones, that really, busted out. Okay. Well, he died of a heart attack. Wow. And his girlfriend tried to take over the channel. This guy had 33,000 subscribers. She was getting 200-something views and like that. She didn't have the content, guys. It's not easy, guys. Okay. And I don't discourage you from doing it. I wish I had somebody to tell me the ropes before I got started. Yeah. Yeah. But for a lot of people, it could be. But for me, I promise you, and anybody that's ever come to me, TJ will tell you, I don't spend a lot of time on my YouTube channel. I spend other than my live streams, I spend about 15 minutes a day. I'll come up with some things that cross my mind from talking to y'all, listening to your content. It's like, what do I know about that subject? Like, okay, my next one is going to be about Big Shirley. See, when I say Big Shirley, guys, I'm not talking about a person. I'm talking about an attitude. See, that Big Shirley attitude over there, the women over there, they're behind the migration of Western men overseas. So I'm going to talk about that. Right. And that's all I do. I talk for 10 or 15 minutes, and that's it.
Yeah, I was going to say another thing is when you first started making content, it wasn't like, oh, yo, let me see what I can say to get the most subscribers. It really, like, a lot of that early, like, pandemic sunshine shoulder stuff was just like, look, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I got thoughts. I don't have anybody to share them with immediately. Let me just tell y'all how I feel. Let me put y'all on some game. And, that's a perspective. That's kind of what attracted me. It wasn't like a, hey, guys, how's it going? Smash that like button. Click and double subscribe. Right. What's up, all my tubers out in the tube space? It was like, yo, today's subject's this. And then you would speak on it. And, like, that's a rare quality. Some folks gravitate to that.
And Calvin used to sing. Calvin used to sing too, but he stopped.
That's all I do now, because if you share your life with people, I'm not unique. Somebody out there is going through the same thing I'm going through. So I talk about real life stuff. My drug addiction, my divorce, my relationships over in the Philippines, my life in the Philippines. If you want to know a little bit about life in the Philippines, then I'm going to show you what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. And it resonates with some people because I'm just a regular guy, man. TJ's been here. He'll tell you I'm not some over-the-top guy with a Rolls Royce motorcycle out front and all that stuff, man.
And you don't need the graphics. You don't need the fancy editing like sometimes I like to do.
Yeah.
You don't need that. It's just straight up raw Philippines. You walking with your camera and just talking. And that's what attracted me to you during the whole Snap period, because I would just like it put me in a sense of calm. Like I said, I'm in Brooklyn, I'm in New York, and I deal with craziness every single day. Y'all don't even know. And watching your channel, even if I wasn't even planning on going to the Philippines, it just made me at peace. It just put me in a situation where it's an escape, you know, and I really appreciate that. I really do. And you don't even know. You don't even know.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. But I'm going to tell you something. Just like Dana, right? All the information, see, people are looking for information. He could have a successful YouTube channel built around his childhood if he wants to do it. I'm getting a feedback.
Let me see.
Tell me the YouTube off.
I'm gonna mute mine. Let me see.
Oh, that's Robert. I muted Robert and it stopped.
All right, we all good.
Yeah. But say for instance, like Dana. Dana's got a lot of information. See, people like that. There's a I think her name is Jennifer Terry. She's got an information channel, but it's just information. That's all it is. If Dana did the same thing with ticket fares and, you know, airlines and stuff like that, he would catch on pretty damn quick, especially right now with the Philippines. It doesn't hurt that the Philippines is one of the most popular genres on YouTube.
It is.
That helps people. Listen, living abroad, remember the little guy, Alex? He was over in Thailand. He had 3,000 subscribers when I met him. I saw him in IT Park. He recognized me. He said, hey, Sunshine Shoulders, blah, blah, blah. Can I interview you for my channel? I said, yeah, okay, sure. But he had 3,000. He moved over into the Philippines. This guy's got 17,000 subscribers now, and he's getting 10, 15, 20. The interview he did with me, just a pitiful interview, really. We're out, you know, the sound is messed up, but because it's the Philippines, it's got 70,000 views already.
Yes. Authentic, natural.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt that you're in the Philippines. And a lot of those guys are coming from Thailand to the Philippines. So it helps.
Look at the Campbell family.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how, when Fred said, I had no idea why I was so, why my channel been so successful. Then I looked around, I was like, well, hell, that's all people are talking about is the Philippines. And see, he's getting to the point, Campbell's getting big now, right? Dana.
Yeah.
So trolls are coming after him and his girlfriend. Because somebody sent me something in my Facebook Messenger. They said, hey, this guy's a fraud. And I said, what do you mean? Well, look at him. He says on one video, his left arm is handicapped, and then in the other video, his right arm's handicapped. And he sent me 2 videos. They said, look, Calvin, he's using his right hand. He's using his left hand. He's using both hands. And I'm like, look, guy, don't send me that stuff. I don't give a damn. I'm not a doctor. I don't know, maybe it's a miraculous recovery. I don't know.
The video's just mirrored. That would probably be videos mirrored very
That's
often.
exactly what happened.
Yeah, because it's the opposite is what it is if you look at it.
Look at the print on his T-shirt. You can see that it's backwards.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that channel came out of nowhere and shot up there. Now he's on the radar. They're going to come after him just as hard. They're going to say, hey, this guy's a fraud and he's this and he's that, just like they do me. So that's another thing that you have to look out for.
Yeah, because if your channel / life is unsuccessful, you got plenty of time to go after people you're jealous of. So
yeah,
and that's why people do that.
Time.
Yeah,
they chase clout chasing. They clout chasing Sunshine. They putting out negative videos about him just so they can get views. They want to tag him and put and get that views that off of his success because he got like 40,000 subs now. So that's all that is.
But it's so many guys that come over here.
Hate too, so for a few of them.
But so many guys who come over here, they had that YouTube channel as part of their income, and it didn't work out, guys. If you're gonna do a channel, do it for fun. And if it does grow to the point where you're earning money, then fine. But more than likely, it's just like going out there trying to get into the music industry. It's no different. Yeah, Fred, you get a microphone, you can sing all you want. I'm not buying none of your damn records, Fred. Just thinking about,
the way I sing, you guys probably pay me not to make any records.
Yeah, you dream all you want, and that's really, as long as you having fun, Fred, who cares, right?
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
And that's the point I have to give to new guys.
Yeah.
More than likely, your channel's not going to get monetized, more than likely. But if it does, that's a cream, that's icing on the cake. Just have some fun, Well,
like we were talking about Dana. Dana, I got friends that want to travel and everything else. I'm going to put them in contact with you, but sure, it'd be nice if you could do something like that, if you were allowed to. Different places people can travel, what's going on, and all this other stuff would be very nice.
See, that's you, Robert. I'm getting feedback. You must have your YouTube on. Cut your YouTube off.
He's watching the show too. He watching the show.
Yeah, I see him.
I think Robert wants to see how he looks on TV, on YouTube. He's probably gonna start a YouTube channel. Looking good, Robert.
Yeah, going back and forth. Y'all got to mute him. See, I muted him. Now he's looking at himself. This is my homeboy right here, Don Ridgeway. Yeah, guys. But if you think about that YouTube, man, just do it for fun, man. And if you authentic, if you realistic, it's going to catch on. Somebody's going to relate to it. But if you flying drones all over the place and showing Barack all the time, probably not. Something gets you.
Well, we talking about YouTube.
Woman, like Campbell channel, she's a nice woman. You put her out front. That's going to get you some views too. Now, let's be honest. Look at the True channel. They're not really talking about nothing, but they got
talking about
bikinis.
Yeah, that's the cheat code. The women in bikinis. That's the cheat code.
Yeah, that's the G code. That's the cheat code for YouTube in the Philippines, especially.
That's cheat code for life.
Something I like. On this channel we can have disagreements. Everybody has their own opinion. And, a lot of people got to realize when Kelvin is talking about, he's talking about his own experiences. Well, we all may have different experiences and we may not agree. So when people coming at you, they're coming at you because they don't think the way you think. Hey, but that's you. At least you're telling people what you're all about and you're not hiding it and you're putting it out there. And some people just can't deal with it.
What's wild is some of these people will still rock with what you say, and they're just doing it just to do it. That's what's worse for me. Like, at least if they disagree you, at least the hate's coming from an honest place. Like, but if it's just like Elias Cast is just like they're out here doing they're out here doing worse.
Yeah.
As far as the moral ineptitude test or turpitude test goes, but it's easier to make a diss video. It's easier to make a diss track than a hit single.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, but just like Dana there, he's my partner in crime. And because of you, Kelvin, is how I met Dana. And we talk whenever we can. And it's nice to meet somebody around my age that understands a lot of things I'm talking about. I may not have to agree with everything Dana agrees with, but we respect one another on our opinions. And to me, that's what's most important.
And not only that, but it's like guys like him. You're always going to be misinterpreted. I never put it down. He said, that's what I said, Calvin. It can be done. You are a living example. Don't put it down after saving your life. It didn't save my life. I was living just as fine over here without YouTube. I didn't make YouTube to bolster my income. I made it to get that $100 YouTube owed me, or that $53. I'm not putting it down. I'm saying if you let's talk about reality. Nobody told me this information. They never said, hey, look, guys, it's really tough out here. 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch time hours is very, very, very hard, Chris Williams. Any way you look at it, okay? But I'm not putting it down, and it didn't save my life, okay? So you try it and see how hard it is. I've got a guy on here who's experiencing it. Razer Rays. What you got? How many subscribers you got, Razer Rays?
2,500 right now.
Yeah, but tell him how hard it is to get 4,000 watch time. Huh?
1 year to get monetized. 1 full year to get monetized. To get to 1,000 and then 4,000 watch hours. And I wasn't doing no live stream for that first year. So the watch hours came from just uploading the video on demand, editing video, no live streams. So that was tough. But like you said, you got to do it as a hobby. Do it as like it's fun. If you do it like it's business, you will quit. You will quit because you will get discouraged with your amount of views. You got to do it because you like being in front of the camera. You like having fun, and you're getting some momentum. And you got to do it for fun, basically, until you get monetized. If you trying to come into it like it's business, you're gonna make money and live abroad. You might quit. That's the danger of it. You know, you got to get into it because you like it. Once you get into it, you got to love it. And you keep going no matter how many little bit of views you get on a certain video. Because you take a lot of time editing a video, thinking this is going to be the best video of all time. And then it only gets like 100 views for the whole week. You know, so you got to do it for the fun. You know, that'll keep you going and motivated.
Shout out to you for doing it in a market like New York, too. Because there's a lot of folks vlogging.
I gotta get rid of you. I gotta get rid of Robert, man. You killing my live stream. What are you doing over there?
He's testing the limb-proofing functions on the microphone.
Yeah, it's like he's rubbing his knuckles against the damn microphone.
He just wants to make sure that it'll work in a storm. It's fine.
Yeah.
Sheer beauty right here. Rambling man, Kuyo Dan. Wow. It's a beauty.
Yeah, it says, hey, thanks for the super chat, Al Hover 29. So I commend you for putting a part of your life public, but I do appreciate you giving us an inside view on the Philippines and what to expect. And that's really all I'm doing. I'm trying to give you like an introduction, a real life introduction, not Barakai and Peng Lao Bahal and all that. Like, you know, I'm just a guy really from the hood, to be honest with you. And so I'm a regular guy, so I want to give people a view of what a regular guy will experience over here. Okay, I'm not going to win any beauty contest. I'm not rich, but I can show you that, hey, this is the reason I moved to the Philippines. Look at how I'm living now. Maybe it'll work for you. But it takes some courage, man. It does take courage to move over here. A lot of guys get a rude awakening, Fred, when they come over here, and it's not as easy as we make it look.
Well, you know, Calvin, a lot of guys come over there on a 2-week vacation, maybe 3 weeks. They might stay a month. And you say, oh, I can live here. But you can't. A month is not enough time to really make that determination. It's like the same. When I go back to the States, you go back, you visit. Oh, I like it. I can live back here. I'm only back here for a month. You know, but if you actually live back there, then you find out you can't live there. You know, it was a perfect example. When I got out the military, because I retired in the States, I stayed back 2 years before I left because I already knew I wasn't going to stay there, and I was there for a particular reason. And I left the States in '92. I've been back for visits and stuff, but I'm not going to live there anymore. I'm done with that. And here on Guam, people got to realize it may be expensive, but it's pretty well laid back lifestyle, believe me.
Yeah, you give up a lot to really live over here for a long time. But let me introduce everybody one more time. Lynn and Robert said, please introduce your other colleague. We'll start with you, Fred. Just, your name and where you from.
My name is Fred Baldwin. Originally from Ohio, but actually my home now is Guam. And I've been living out here I was in the military for 21 years, retired, moved to Guam, and I've been out here since the 92. This is my home now.
Okay, Razer Rays.
Yeah, Lynn and Robin from the Philippines. I'm Razer Rays, aka Ray. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I have a YouTube channel that basically concentrates on the Caribbean and South America, Colombia. But I am highly, highly intrigued about the Philippines. That's why I'm here, and that's why I talk to Sunshine Shoulders. I will be making a trip to the Philippines in the near future. That is 100% for sure. So I like the channel of Sunshine Shoulders. It put me in a sense of calm, and it puts me in a peace of mind where I'm not thinking about gunshots and craziness of New York City. It's like an escapism, so that's pretty much, that's who I am.
Okay, Dana, you next.
Yeah, I'm Dana Middleton. I'm a travel agent. I'm living here in Louisville, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas, Texas. I've been here for about 28 years. I've spent 45 years in the automobile industry. And in February of 2007, I opened up my own travel business. And pretty much that's what I've been doing.
Okay, I see Robert's frozen in time. He's frozen. Robert, he's saying, I think he's in Arizona somewhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Now you sound like a rapper. with the
again.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's go. It's the remix.
Okay, TJ, tell us who you are. Yeah.
I'm TJ. I'm a travel. Wait, I'm not a travel professional. I got caught into the script playing with you. I'm sorry. He doesn't look like he took that joke very well. I take it. I'm a tech professional. I live in Brooklyn. I'm from the Bay Area originally. And I live a crazy life that's not very evocative of the actual experience in the Philippines. So that's why I don't have a YouTube. He managed to do the thing where his feedback is coming out again. That's amazing. That's truly impressive. All right. Anyway, yeah, I'm a long-time viewer, long-time fan. And homies. So yeah, I'm gonna. There we go.
Yeah, I had to get rid of Robert, man. I don't know what kind of system he got.
He got.
But anyway, I kept this up because he makes a great point right here. He said, "How many people even get more than 2 weeks of vacation to get to know a place?" And I think this is the whole rat race, hamster wheel that I always talk about. And this resonates with people. When I said the reason I left, when I came over here, my renewals was about $1,900 a month. It went down because people died, they changed plans. It's about $1,400. But I didn't care. I knew that I could make it over here. I could live over here off of that. And I left because I got tired of that 2-week vacation a year. That's not enough, man.
Right.
I was working to pay the bills, Fred. That's all I was working for. I couldn't save any money, and I was earning good money over there. But by the time the taxes get you, all the inflation, the high cost of living, I promise you, man, I had to find a new way to live.
Well, one thing I would tell you, go ahead, Dana.
No, what I was going to say is one of the things that people fail to recognize about the hamster wheel is the fact that, for example, for a 30-minute program on television, okay, well, you're only actually getting about 19 to 21 minutes of actual program, and the rest of the time, they're trying to get you to spend your money. They're trying to get you to buy that new car. They're trying to get you to buy those new appliances for the house. They're trying to get you to spend your money. Okay. And so, you know, you feel like when you're constantly bombarded with that kind of propaganda, you know, you feel like you have to, and that's what you have to do, you know, to be looked upon favorably. And, you know, so yeah, it is a hamster wheel. And sooner or later, you know, like, for example, I had gotten to the point where after 45 years in the car industry, materialistically, I had pretty much everything I wanted. Okay. And so then it was like, okay, I'm getting older, so I probably need to start saving money. So that became my motivation. But that was a false motivation because you can't save in America because they've got this little game they play called inflation. So every time you make a little money, they take a little more money. So the hamster wheel is in your head. You will never, ever get off the hamster wheel until you convince yourself that you are, that you're done. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what title's on your business card, okay? Until you understand that it's a never-ending story and you'll never win, you're going to be on that hamster wheel. That's why I admire these guys who leave and come to the Philippines or go to St. Croix in the Virgin Islands or go to Colombia or go to Brazil, okay, because they've got enough intestinal fortitude, no matter how they got them, to say, enough. I have had enough.
Hey, you make some great points. Thanks, El Hova, for the super chat. He said, Razer Ray's put it perfect, man. You give us a peace of mind about the PI without telling us to smash and subscribe and all the crazy buttons. Yeah, see, I'm not that type of YouTube channel. It's crazy, but he said so much. Dana said so much. And I hope y'all were listening because it comes a time, man, when you wake up. You don't have to be woke, but you're going to like, man, I'm never going to get off this hamster wheel. Mm-hmm. I'm never getting anywhere. The hamster wheel is you're running in place, man. You know, the faster you run, the harder you work, you're not getting anywhere, man. And after a while, I was like, the hell with this. I'm jumping off this damn thing. And I left a lot of money on the table, man. Imagine, I've been gone for 4 years, 4 annual enrollment period cycles. In my business, that's when you earn all the money, Fred, in this Medicare Advantage business that I was in. I've let 4 go past me. That's at least another $1,000 per month renewal. But what good is it if I'm going to be dead over there? Mm-hmm. It ain't going to do me no good. So I said, the hell with it, man. I got nothing to lose. I can always go back to America. America's not going anywhere. So I took a chance, man. And I'm so thankful.
Yeah, and it worked.
He said, if you wait till you can afford it, it'll never happen. My sister, listen, I told y'all this before, and I don't have to see but one person do this to say, I don't want it. She retired at 67, but she's got a mortgage. So after being out work for about 6 months, she was like, I can't afford not to work. She's 72 years old right now, Fred, and she's still working. Mm. And she'll probably work until she dies.
Yep.
She's got no choice. Why don't she go to the Philippines? She not interested in the Philippines? Actually?
Well, most people have never even been out of their neighborhood, Razer Rays.
Yeah, that's what true. I was gonna say. It's a lot of times it's a blessing just to see somebody leave the block once. Just once.
Especially America. Look it up. Don't think I'm lying. Less than 5% of U.S. citizens flew overseas in any given year, and I'm not talking about Jamaica, I'm not talking about the Caribbean, I'm talking about actually overseas to Europe, Africa, Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia, less than 5% every year they do that.
You ain't
Of
gonna
all
make me believe it.
industrialized countries, we're lowest as far as our citizens having passports.
That's because we push the biggest narrative about America being the greatest, most fantastic country in the world. So why would you have to leave if it's the best? And it's like I have to have that conversation all the time. It's wild because people hit me up and they'll see me. I don't do video or vlog or anything. I just my stuff's just in stories on IG or Facebook. I mean, bro, that's wild. You're doing this and that, bro. How I get like that? It's like, bro, just get your passport. You'd be good. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm gonna get back to you though, and that's the last you'll hear of it. It's like for a lot of folks, it's like the thought is about as far as it gets.
TJ,
Yep.
listen, I'm a travel agent, and I cannot tell you how many clients I have that before the pandemic would take cruises. And I would always tell my cruise passengers, I say, who's going on this cruise? And if it's a couple, I always would tell them, I said, look, you need to be prepared that you're going to lose some friends when you come back from your cruise. And they were like, why? What do you mean? I said, because you're going to be so excited and have so many experiences with that cruise, but only you can share it with your wife. You can only share it with your wife. Nobody else, they're going to get tired of hearing about your cruise. They'll tell you that too. Can't you talk about something else besides that cruise? Okay, because they don't travel. Okay, they won't venture outside of the box.
No frame of reference.
There's a story about a bird that was put in a glass cage at one point, and they left the top of the cage off, and the bird died in the cage because he never looked up.
Yes.
In many ways, that's the way we are. But the thing is, we're forced to look down because we got to keep watching our feet, because otherwise we'll fall down.
Hey guys, I'm like James. I got to get off here, but I'm gonna give. I always do. I want to thank everybody for your super chats, super stickers, your thumbs up. My great panel. I'm gonna give y'all the last word as I always do. You got 1 minute to give us something good, TJ. Some type of tip, something to get us off the hamster wheel, just to get out there one time. Take a chance.
All right. I would say one quick tip is if you're not already optimizing your card purchases. I know a lot of people, credit cards, the matrix, but credit cards could also turn into free flights really quick. And in an economy like this where fuel is super duper high, let me tell you, the Amex points, the Chase points, the United points, they're worth their weight in gold right now. So definitely a great first step. Even if you don't got that passport yet, start getting them points right. Don't at me. Seriously.
Yeah, I would say even go somewhere close. I was in the Navy though, remember? So I went to a lot of places, but when I got back, it took me 30 years, Fred, to go somewhere else. But eventually I went to Cancun, Mexico, and a little places, close by before I ventured out here to the Philippines. Okay, Razer, give us something.
Yeah, guys, go ahead and escape out that matrix, aka USA. Like the Nike sign says, just do it. Don't think about it too much. Just do it. Try it. You gotta try it. If you try it and you are like the Philippines or Colombia or wherever, you can stay out there. And if things go left, if it fails, you can always come back. You can always come back to USA. Right, Sunshine. You can always come back. Don't act like just because you fail. If you fail, you need to come back and make more money inside the USA. That you fail, you're right. You come back and you make more money, right? You make money, and you go back and try it again. Just because you failed the first time does not mean that it's all over for you and you're gonna be stuck in the USA. No, just come back, make some more money, re-up, and travel back out, man. But you gotta try it. Just like the Nike sign, the Nike logo says, just do it. Just do it and just try it. All right, you know what it should be? Just try it. Should be try it, actually.
That's good. That's good advice. You can always come back and strengthen your plan.
Exactly.
And then try it again, man.
Right.
Okay, Dana, give us something before you get out of here.
Well, the only thing I really have to say is that don't be afraid of your life. Okay? Please, anybody that's watching me right now, might encourage you, don't be afraid of your life. It's waiting for you to take advantage of it. The hamster wheel is preventing you from finding your best life and your understanding truly what quality of life is. Okay? You owe it to yourself to find your quality of life.
Yeah, get excited. I tell people to get excited, man, because you don't know how much time you got left, guys. You know how much time you got left. We focusing on everything but our life, man. They got us. We really live in somebody else's script, Fred. We're not even living our own script. Most of us are living somebody else's script. The hell with that. I tore it up in 2018. If I fail, so what? At least it's on my terms. Hell with that. All right, Fred, take us out of here, OG Fred.
The only thing I got to say for those folks who are afraid to take a vacation, they don't want to fly long distance. Dana brought up an interesting thing. Take a cruise if you've never been nowhere. Or get on Amtrak. Take a trip across country. Maybe take a trip down whatever close to you. If Trinidad is nearby, or one of the other places. Just go there to see if you like it. Then from there, you can determine, hey, I like this. And then you can make other plans to maybe go a little bit further where you may want to go. So life is short as it is. Enjoy your life, because I know I enjoyed mine. I'm the same age as Dana, and I'm still having a good time. Okay?
Somebody on a great point. Somebody said a plan. See, most of us don't even have a plan, guys. Our goal. See, if you go, here's your assignment for the night before I get off of here. Go on YouTube after this and look at Earl Nightingale. And he's got it's only like 13 minutes or something like that. I think it's called a Magnificent Obsession. Look at that, guys. And it'll change your life, man. But most of us don't have any goals. We don't know where we're going. We just go to work, we punch the clock, we get out, we're in that routine. I got excited about my life. I don't know about anybody else. And this isn't coming from somebody. This is coming from me.
Yeah.
Because I watched my mother die, my father died, two of my brothers, close brothers died. And it woke something up in me, Fred. I don't know what it was, but I want to live, and I'm going to live until I die.
Calvin, one last thing. The only problem is most people don't have a set of goals. Okay, maybe you're first out of school, you don't want to go to college, you don't know what you want to do. And that was the same thing with me. I had a chance. I could have went to college right there and then, but I didn't want to go to school anymore. I didn't like the job that I had. And I chose the military route, which I'm glad I did, because it opened me up to a whole new world. And from there, I was able to make plans on what I want to do. And now everything I want to do, I've done. So don't be afraid to make a plan.
It's actually called The Stranger's Secret, guys. That Magnificent Obsession, that's somebody else.
Okay.
It's called The Stranger's Secret, guys. Look at that. But everybody, thank y'all so much for joining the show. I'm sorry we went over today. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free. I'll see you in September, TJ. And I guess we're going to see, hopefully Dana is not heartbroken. He's going to come on over here, Fred, and Yeah,
I'm gonna be over in December.
okay. Yeah. And Razer. Try it again, Dana. Don't let her don't let one bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch,
Yes.
man.
You don't need to tell me that.
Well, I'm just saying, one monkey don't stop the show.
Never has.
Oh.